Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone. Before I do the hellos, let me go ahead and get Gemma. I'm gonna drop the link for you if you want to come on up, sweetheart. And anybody else, if you want to can with us, we got plenty of room on the panel. Here comes the link. And Gemma, make sure you send me your email address so I can just email you the link so I can save time. That way we won't have to do this drop and paste and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's Susanna. There's Susanna.
Hi.
Hey.
Okay, I feel better. I'm not all alone. I got two of the Canimals. I can make it.
I have to tell you something.
What?
I'm only doing hamburger because I could not find the sloppy Joe mix that I like.
Oh, no big deal.
They were out. They were out everywhere.
No big deal.
All good.
I kind of had a feeling that might happen. That's why I put that recipe up. Hey, there's Jess. What's going on, Jess?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hi, Jess.
Hey, Susanna. Hi, Virginia.
Hi.
Yeah, so it's been a long day. I went to bed like around midnight, woke up at 3 a.m. and could not go back to sleep. I tried for a little while, and then Buddy woke me up at 7. It was time for him to eat, and then there wasn't no going to sleep after that. He had me running all day.
Hey, Caribbean House. Yeah, I had a long day, too. I canned some beef today, Ghost. I took a nap, and I didn't wake up until 6 o'clock.
Oh, wow. Hey, Gemma.
Hey.
Hey, Gemma.
Hey, Gemma.
Hey, Jess. Hey, Virginia, Susanna.
Yeah, so today was a good day. It was a busy day. Busy day. I got my acceptance letter in the actually my acceptance email from the University of North Carolina at Pembroke to start classes on Wednesday. So talk about down to the wire.
Wow.
So yeah, so I can go ahead and finish up my education degree and get that done. So yeah, so I'm going to be a busy boy for the next few months. All right, let's do the hellos to everybody in the chat. Let's see who all we got. We got Christine, new member. Welcome. Thank you very much. Awesome, Christine. If you want to can with us, I dropped the link a little bit earlier. Hop on up here. Caribbean House, what's going on? Debbie Sims, Tamara Reynolds.
Ow, hello.
Hoot, what's going on, Hoot? Boo back at you.
Hey, Sherry.
Let's see, Gary, what's going on, Bulldog? Let's see who else we got here. Ms. Taz Christie, hello. That's a name right there. Tracy C, hello. Cherry Leach, how are you doing, sweetheart? Bill Brad, what's up? Charisse Hamilton. I hope I pronounced that right. Yeah, so today we are doing Sloppy Joe, which, I mean, it's more fun than anything else. If you made it homemade, awesome. You guys make sure you let me know how it turns out. I've never made homemade Sloppy Joe before. I've always just been spoiled with the sauce out of the can, and I love it. I'll be honest with you. I do the manwich, but I still call it Sloppy Joe. It's the same thing. But that's just the flavor that I was spoiled with. I was going to do the homemade. I still plan on doing the homemade, but I didn't want to make a big batch and can it if I didn't like the flavor. So I'm going to do like a small batch of homemade and make sure I like it before I do it and can it. That's one thing about when you're putting up preps, especially canning food. Make sure you like what you're putting up. Make sure it's something that you eat, and it like with me with the Sloppy Joes, I'm used to, like, my entire life I've had the manwich flavor out of the can, so to change the flavor profile and put it away in long-term storage canning without tasting it first is kind of, that's kind of risky for me. So I just wanted to keep the flavors, comfortable with my tummy.
Right.
Paige Denise, thank you very much. Red Tyrant Hunter, what's going on? EMT, hello. Yeah, so is anybody, I see, Virginia, you made homemade, right?
Nope, I manwiched it because, like you said, that's what my kids are used to. That's the flavor profile. So I went with the classic.
Yeah, that's what I did. I mean, I don't like to change up the flavors if it's something I like without tasting it first.
For sure.
How about you, Susanna? What do you got going on?
Just the hamburger because I couldn't find what
That's right.
I couldn't find what I liked, and I don't like the manwich. And
The
I
great
like another. There's another one that I do like, and they were out of it everywhere, and I couldn't find it. And just
well, the
like you
good
were
part
saying,
about
I didn't want to do something that I didn't like, but I could always
yeah,
add it later.
exactly. The good part about it is all you gotta do is dump it in with the hamburger meat that you can, and it's I mean you get the same thing, so it's awesome. Yeah. Stanley Laddie, what's going on? Christine, hello. Shannon Graham, hello. Stephanie Joe, welcome. Yeah, so yeah, today was a busy day, man. I gotta tell you guys about my tomato, that big Zac that I only had one on the plant forever, and then I finally got another one. Like two
Yeah.
days ago, it put 4 fruit on one set. So now there's 6 on the plant. But the one that's big, it is bigger than my hand, okay? And I don't have small hands. This thing's at least 1.5 pounds, and it's just now starting to turn a little bit pink. It's massive. Like it's the size of a small cantaloupe. It's huge. It's
Oh
awesome.
wow! I've never seen a tomato that big.
Yeah, they're massive. Sherry Leach, you can do it either way. I mean, we canned ground beef a few weeks ago, but today we're doing a complete meal. So we're canning the sloppy Joe completely made. You can just dump it right out of the jar onto some bread and go to town. But like we were talking about with Susanna, you don't have to. You can leave it in the can on the shelf and just can your hamburger meat and add it later if you want. Charisse, are you canning with us? Like right now? I mean, because if you're canning with us right now, we got room up here on the panel. I dropped the link. You can come on up.
Yeah, come on up.
Suburban Hillbilly.
And hello to everyone that's come in. It's great to see everybody.
Hey, Stanley.
Yes, hello everybody in chat.
Yeah, Charisse, if you want to come up, I'll drop the link again. We'd love to have you. We've got plenty of room. I paid to get the extra subscription with StreamYard to get 10 people up here. Yeah, so it was a good day. You know, it was a good day. I got good news from the school, so I start school on Wednesday, so I can finish up my degree, get that thing out of the way.
Oh, that's amazing.
Woohoo!
Yeah, finally. Well, it's been 1.5 years. I haven't been able to go to school because they shut them down in Florida, and I moved here, you know, and getting the whole transfer thing going on. I mean, I've got to repeat like 2 semesters because they didn't transfer all my classes, which kind of sucks. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So, but I mean, the cool thing is this is an actual university. So it's University of North Carolina. So that's kind of a big deal. So
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll do what I got to do. Ghost, if you do homemade sauce, would it be pressure canned or what? Pressure canned? Always pressure canned meat. Always meat or any kind of meat product always gets pressure canned, at least in my book. I mean, there are people that do water bath canning. If you're just doing the sauce and no meat, you can water bath can the sauce if there's no meat in it.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that's a waste of time to water bath can the sauce if you can just buy it in the cans. You know what I mean? If you're going to like make it, just go ahead and make it with the meat, pressure can it, and be done with it. Thank you, Stanley. I appreciate that. 1260, welcome. I do not believe I have seen you in the room before. If you have been here before and I missed you, I do apologize. I try to remember all the names. Shift
Hi,
Kicker.
1260 and Stephanie.
There's Shift Kicker, Gemma.
Hey,
Hey, Shift Kicker.
Yeah, I looked for a lot of really easy recipes to follow to do it homemade, and there are like so many recipes out there. But everybody that was doing it homemade and was pressure canning it, they were just like flying through it really fast. You know what I mean? And I was like, man. So I picked one that looked, you know, pretty simple and threw it up there just, you know, for, you know, just to see if everybody wanted to do it. Felicia, let's see what Felicia says. Felicia says, hey, everyone, I'll be watching. Too tired to can live. Been going all day. Canned ghee and seedless red grapes already today. Sweet. How'd your ghee turn out? I'm gonna do some more ghee here before too long. I'm gonna do unsalted this time instead of the salted and see if how different the flavor is versus I kind of like the nutty flavor with the salted when I cooked it a little bit longer. I don't know. It's just it's not like a drastic change in the flavor, but it's just like subtle. I kind of like it.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, tonight's process is pretty easy. I mean, once you've canned anything with meat in it, the only thing that pretty much changes after that is the time that you process it, depending on what are you use. Ghee is clarified butter. It's a super stable shelf life, lasts forever. It's awesome. Yeah, the only thing that really changes is the amount of time that you process it for. If you're doing pints, it's 75 minutes. If you're doing quarts, it's 90 minutes or an hour and a half. I myself am doing quarts simply because when my family of 3 eats manwich, we can tear up a quart no problem. So that's like one meal size.
Yeah, I did quarts also.
Moonchild, hello Moon. Kim's
Hey, girl.
Farm
Hey,
Life.
Moonchild.
Hi, good child.
Susanna,
Kim's
are you
Farm.
doing quarts? We'll see in a minute.
I know.
Yes, I am. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted.
It's okay.
All right. Caribbean House, you want to come up here with us? We got room.
Hello, Caribbean House.
My major is middle grade science. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade science.
Wow.
But I'm also probably gonna, like coach football or something, or I'm definitely gonna get involved in the horticulture stuff, and it just depends on what openings are at the school.
Right.
Yes, you can taco meat. I actually saw a really good video on that, and I'm gonna put the taco meat on the next poll because it looked like it turned out really, really good. All right, Caribbean, we'll see you in 2 weeks then, hopefully.
Yep.
The best life. Y'all making me so hungry.
That's like,
All right, so
Well, hello to
got-
everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone else
Suzanne,
coming in chat. Yeah.
I was just going to give you a chance to say hello to all your fans. I mean, everybody's a fan of Susanna. When do you
Oh.
sleep? You're on everybody's panel. You're legit live 23 and a half hours a day.
our darling.
It's like if you turn on.
Yeah. Hello to
before
everyone
you couldn't-
that I was saying
couldn't
hello to when I was muted, and I didn't realize I was muted.
Susanna's like, I said hello to you. You just didn't hear it. I promise I said hello.
Hey, Red Tyrant.
Yeah, a few months back, you couldn't get a word out of Susanna. Now, forget about it. She's like taking over YouTube.
Yep.
She's on a roll.
Red
5, 5,
Tyrant
6.
says they asked a question. Let's see.
Yes, Robert, you cook it. You cook the meat, then you can it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Red Tyrant, you need to repeat your question that you asked. I can't see it in the chat.
It's like you're going to shop meat before you go. Yep. Yeah. So all we're going to do now, everybody's manwich or meat or whatever you're canning is already done. So now we're just going to jar it up and put it in the canner and let it go. So let's get to jarring everything up and we can get this whole canning process started.
Hey, Brian. Good to see you.
If you guys have any crazy questions, just put them in there, and Gemma will yell at me, and I'll answer it.
Yes, if you tag me in the chat, then I can then read them and point out to go. So I read the chat whilst the guys are doing their canning things. So, and by the way, on I will announce right now on either Jess's next cannon stream or on Ghost's next cannon stream, I will actually be tagging along with them. My canning equipment's actually at my dad's. We picked up the canning stuff earlier, and so next stream I shall, depending on what recipe we're doing, I shall be joining in. So
Nice.
yes,
Awesome.
yes, I did, Chef Kicker. It's at my dad's house. So he's actually bringing that here late today, my time. So hopefully I'll be here by this afternoon, later on today. But it's all nice and shiny and new and waiting to be used. So yes, it's at my dad's
Oh,
house.
congratulations, Gemma. We can't wait to see you canning with us next time.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's something that, like I said to Ghost and Jess, it's going to be new for me because I haven't canned before. I've seen like my gran and people do it, but I've never actually done it myself. So, Gemma, ask Ghost how many types of animals the Canimals can can.
What was that?
Is that a joke question? Is that actually a genuine question?
We can can them all.
Yeah.
If we can get them in the jar, we'll can them.
I don't know if that's a genuine question or if that was meant to be a joke.
That was a joke.
Okay.
Yeah. Bug Dude and Prepper 101, they kind of run in the same circles.
Oh, okay. Similar jars like what is it there? Yes. On what? I've got like the jars for like the canning. Like I've actually got like the proper like the mason jar ones that the guys on here use, the actual screw lid ones. I've actually got the proper cannon jars and the actual little funky utensils that they use to put the canning jars into the actual canning machine. But actually got the little, I don't know what they call it, the little utensil, I guess. So yeah, it's literally very, very new to me. I'm literally very, very new to all this. So I've got a lot to learn. A lot to learn.
You'll be just fine. We'll figure it out together.
Christine says, how long is the shelf life for most meat products? Is it the same for no meat products, Ghost?
If you can it correctly and you store it correctly, honestly, I don't think there is a shelf life. After a certain amount of years, the nutrition starts to deteriorate, but if it's canned correctly, it's safe for many, many years. I mean, I know people that are eating meat that's been canned for in excess of 10 years. I mean, I'm eating stuff that's 4 and 5 years right now, and it's perfectly fine. So it's a long time.
Brian, they are cooking the sloppy joes manwich is what the guys are doing on their canning.
Do what now?
You were asked what are you canning? What you canning today? Cooking by
Sloppy
Brian.
Joe. Sloppy Joe, manwich, same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just hanging out on the panel doing my own thing.
Christine says, any brands recommended for pressure canning, Ghost?
Any what?
Christine says, any brands recommended for pressure canning?
I use an All-American, but the Prestos are fine. I'm just spoiled with the All-American. It costs a little bit more, but that's the only one I've ever used.
Yeah, so guys, if you do have any questions for Ghost, tag me in the chat, and as soon as I see it, I will let Ghost know that there's a question. So make sure you tag me in the chat, so then I can make sure that it reads it. Kicking at home said hello, and to your question, it's currently 1:25 in the morning for me right now. So yeah.
Wow.
Okay, hold on. Who I'll scan back up. Hold on. MC says to Virginia, Virginia has given me the confidence to can meats. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Virginia can can anything.
Oh, we've lost Susanna.
Uh-oh.
She'll be back.
Hello, Dragonflies, Ozark Homestead.
Hey,
Kicking it
kick
home
it out.
Homestead. I'm very happy. I literally only woke up about half an hour ago because I took a nap. I was like, oh, I know Ghost is coming on soon. So I literally I just woke up about 45 minutes ago.
Well, glad you made it. Wow, I have extra. Cool.
Well, of course I'd be here, Ghost. Like I would have been here regardless. I would have got myself up way earlier. Stephanie says, "What is Jess up to, and what is Jess cooking?"
There's no telling with Jess. She's just hanging.
I am actually doing broccoli soup base.
Broccoli soup base. Nice.
I used up all my hamburger the other day doing meatballs and chili, so I didn't have any meat left to do a sandwich, so I needed to get this broccoli processed. And I figured I'd just come out, hang out with my friends, and do broccoli soup.
That works.
Sounds good.
It says, what's it gone? Kicking at Homestead says Virginia gives people confidence in many ways. She's very smart.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's really nice.
And
Thank
Bug
you.
Dude says to you as well, Virginia. Virginia has inspired me to forge my own pressure canner just like hers. Yabba dabba doo doo.
He's teasing my Flintstone canner.
Yeah, Virginia's super smart. That's why I hang out with her. Makes me look good.
Right?
I like Flintstones too. Flintstones is cool.
Yes, it is. Who needs shoes?
I've actually got Flintstones on DVD. I've actually got the cartoon on DVD in my lounge, in my DVD cabinet. Christine says, "Are the all American pressure canners meant to be pricey, Ghost?"
Yeah, they're pretty pricey. They're like mine. I got mine for like $2.25, but it's been a few years ago. I think now they're selling for over $300.
Yep.
Hey, Stuart. Hey, Be Charming. How are you?
Stewie.
Hey, Stuart. Hey, Be Charming.
Red Tyrant, you are visible, Red Tyrant. I did see your other message earlier, and I said to you to repeat the question that you'd asked because I didn't see it in the chat. Hello, Pirate Chef Prepper. Wow, tongue twister. Hello, Lady Kalska.
Lady Casca, good to see you.
Hello, Debbie Sims. Hello, Moose Man.
Moose.
Hello, Farmer's Son Prepping.
Wow, all kinds of people are popping in.
Hello, Kim's Farm Life. Hello. Is it Lola's Venture? Lala's Venture? Sorry, I mispronouncing your name there, but hello. Hello, Hoot Owl. Be Charming, good to see you. Stuart, hello. Good to see you again. Pirate Chef Prepper says, if you guys want to learn some in-depth science and processes for canning, Red Rose Homestead is fantastic. 50 years of canning experience, and she's also a chemistry professor. Nice. Hello, Rip Curl. How are you?
Rip, what's going on, brother?
Hello, Prepper Chick in Texas. Hello. Hello, Jules Goldstein. Sorry. Hello. Rip Curl says, at Ghost, this way, if what is happening now happened, we could track every piece of equipment back to every single fighter and stronghold, Ghost.
Yeah, that's true.
Christine asks to Virginia, what are you doing?
I'm just making sure they're lined up in there and not, because I've got a really tight squeeze. The inside of my canner is smaller than the other people here. So I'm just making sure that they are as evenly in there as possible so they don't clank around too much and possibly break. And it's a little touch of OCD on my part, but
1260 says, do you prefer to can on... What is it? I can't see a question that keeps disappearing. Do you prefer to can on electric or gas? 1260, who's that question for? Is that for Ghost or is that for the whole panel? You've not given me a tag or anything, so I'm assuming it's for Ghost.
I've always canned on electric. I've never canned on gas, but that's just because I've always had an electric stove.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what you start with. That's what you're going to be more comfortable with, whether it's gas or electric.
Shift Clicker says Ghost. Ghost Arkansas Living just gave you a shout out on his channel.
Who?
Ghost
Arkansas
Arkansas.
Okay.
I think it's how it's pronounced. I may be butchering it, but
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like Arkansas.
hey, Firefly.
Hey, Firefly.
Raven.
Okay, let me see. Where did Susanna come back yet?
No.
There she is.
Yeah, I've been back here the whole time.
Rip Curl says been
I'm
making
sorry,
lots of
sweetheart.
sandwiches
I'm
and
filling up my
potato
truck.
tomatoes and
No, it's
peppers.
okay. Everybody's busy.
Hey, roaming prepper, good to see you again. Hey, Moonsprout.
Hey Terry, tell Arkansas I said thank you if you're double dipping and doing his channel too. Tell him I said thank you very much. I would kind of try to go over there, but it'll hurt my internet stream if I try to do YouTube and stream at the same time.
Hey, North Shore Preparedness.
And for all you guys that do double dip at 9 o'clock, be sure to jump over and tell Pinball hello from me and all the rest of the Canimals. He did an awesome job on the Prepper Summit last month, and then 101 and Rip Curl did an amazing job last weekend. So it was awesome.
Hey, TJ.
Kicking it Homestead, Lady Casca, North Shore. Wow, 82 people. Awesome.
hey, everybody that
Everybody
came
likes
in.
Sloppy Joes.
One thing I will say is if there is people who are going into Ghost Stream and into another stream, it actually can hurt Ghost channel because the YouTube won't count you being in here as a view. So if you can try and stay in Ghost Stream, that would really help his analytics, and it will actually count as a view. So if you are double dipping it, it will hurt his view.
Yeah, Stephanie, I don't know where 101 is. I sent him an email. I guess he had something to do. Not sure.
Hey, Chris Durham.
Hello, roaming prepper.
Hello, Charlie Marcus.
I dropped the link if anybody wants to come up here and chat with us while we're doing this thing. North Shore, you want to come up?
Hey, Mountaineer, whoop, mispronouncing that, but hello, Mountaineer. I don't know, muck your name up. Hello, Gail. Hey, Redneck Prepper, how are you?
Hey, Firefly.
We got room for 5 more up here.
Hello, everyone coming in.
Bug Dude says 101 is taking a break from YouTube for a bit. Okay.
Yeah, we wore him out last week.
yeah, please hit the thumbs up and share this out if you would like to get some more updates from Ghost and the future panelists. Hit the thumbs up and share this out. It will really help Ghost with his watch time.
No
as
problem,
well.
Sean. Cool. When you're done eating, we'll still be on here. So if you want to come up and chat for a while, you're more than welcome to.
Hey, Red Dog.
Ghost Lady Casca wants to know, do you go by the pressure gauge?
No, not really. I mean, it's there. It's a gauge. It just kind of gives me an idea of when I'm getting close. But I mean, I can strictly by the jiggler. Here we go.
I have a question for you, Ghost, because we were behind the scenes canning today, and I don't have any experience with the Presto canner. The Presto canner has the gauge and the weight. Well, she was trying to bring up her pressure to 10 pounds of pressure, but the jiggler wouldn't jiggle.
Her gauge might be off, because like my gauge is about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds off. Like when I hit 10 psi, my gauge is at about 11.25, almost 11.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her gauge may need to be calibrated.
So then I started researching, and it said that the Presto canner comes with a 15-pound weight.
Yeah, you get a 5, 10, and a 15. You should.
Oh, there should be all three with it?
Yeah, I think the Presto comes with like a 4-piece weight. Like you get 3 5-pound weights that you have to add yourself.
Oh, I only got one.
Instead of like the All-American has a round weight with 3 holes in it that are, it's like it's one weight, but it has 3 different holes.
That's what mine is like. That's why it threw me off. I'm like, why is it coming with a 15-pound pressure and that's it? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, depending on, because I know some of the Prestos, I've never used them before, but I've seen them and they have like a lot of easy to lose pieces where like you have to stack your weights on there. It's weird. It's old school. I mean, it works, but.
Who Aller says hole might be clogged. It's a brand new canner. The hole wasn't clogged at all. It's just weird.
Oh, the 3 pieces, a separate purchase. Okay.
Yeah, and you could also use the jiggler in place of the regulator on the Presto.
The one that comes with Presto doesn't jiggle. Okay, you have to buy the weighted jiggler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've never done a Presto.
No, it does jiggle, but it has to come up to that certain pressure, and you can buy the jiggler and use it on the Presto.
Okay.
But you have to make sure you buy the right one. So look carefully.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to can if I didn't have a jiggler. If I don't have that noise, I would freak out. Like when mine's not making noise, I get worried.
Mountaineer Mama says, this is Lady Casca has the 23 Presto canner too. And Mountain Mama says, my 23 quart Presto canner has one weight, 15 pound, does not jiggle at 10 pounds. Have to watch the gauge.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now the Prestos that I've seen, the weight actually comes apart, like it unscrews, and there's like 3 different 5-pound weights, and you can take 2 away for 5 pounds, add 1 for 10, add all 3 for 15. That's the one I've seen, but that was like a while ago when I saw that.
Yeah, I was stumped today. I was like,
Rip Curl says to me, can I say tomatoes again? Tomatoes, Rip Curl.
Hey Felicia, good to see you.
Pirate Chef Prep says, the chat's jumping. Whoa. The goal is to keep the temperature between 240 to 250 for the correct length of time for the item that you're canning.
Yeah, Moose Man, I have a mirror canner. It's like ancient, old, and I don't have a jiggler either. So jiggler
you don't want it going over 250, and you don't want it going below 240. If it goes below 240, let it bring it all the way back down to 0 and start over again.
Yeah.
You have to maintain a constant above 240 the entire time.
Mine doesn't have like a gauge. The only thing I have is a weight, and the weight jiggles. But the gauge and everything, that new stuff, it confuses me.
Hey, Arkansas's in here. You want to come up, Art? Here comes a link.
Hey, Ark.
Hey, Arkansas. Arkansas. No, I probably mispronounced it.
I just pinned it.
Mooseman says the old all Americans had a steam release valve and a gauge, and the release valve was a safety to pop off.
Yeah, I've still like mine's a brand new. Well, it's not brand new. It's like 4 years old, but I've got a emergency relief valve as well.
Suburban Hillbilly says the Presto will not come up to pressure until she adds the weight.
Oh, okay. Hey, we got a special guest.
Stephanie, I'm not actually sure what the brand is, but it's a well-recognized canner machine. I actually asked the salesman in the shop. So
what's up, Chris? Or Lee? Which one over you? Lazarus?
Hey,
What's happening?
Hey, Lazarus. Hello, roaming prepper.
Hi, Lazarus.
Okay, well, I got a million screens here. Hold on a second.
Hey, Roman Prepper, good to see you again.
Same
Charlie
here.
Market says, where'd he go? Charlie Market says, after you put the weight on, the Presto takes about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I can't really answer any questions legitimately about a Presto because I've never used one. All I've ever used is an All-American.
And
So
that's why I was stumped. That's why I was stumped, Ghost, because I'm using my mirror canner, and it's like I don't know how to use a Presto. I've never
been
seen one in person other than on the live streams.
It depends on the model and how old or new your model is.
Are you guys all pressure canning right now?
Yes.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah, all of it. Except for you, Jim.
Except for me.
And me.
And Jim.
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Jim is not canning.
So what's the shelf life of veggies when you pressure can them?
It depends. The shelf life of anything that you pressure can depends on how you store it. If you canned it correctly and you use quality stuff and a new lid, literally, if you store it correctly, I don't think there is a shelf life. The food, it doesn't technically go bad until it loses that seal. What happens is over time, it will lose its nutritional value, especially if it's in direct sunlight. If it's getting direct sunlight, either direct or indirect, even ambient sunlight, that decreases the nutritional value. But the food's going to stay good until it loses a seal.
No kidding. So it's really contingent on the seal failing before the food fails.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I need to.
Red Dog, a pressure canner. If you're canning anything with a meat product, it's in a pint, it's 75 minutes. In a quart, it's an hour and a half. But it's time well spent.
Okay. Yeah, what's the typical expense on a pressure canner? A good one, a couple of $100? Yeah,
right now with the way the market is now, the All-Americans, like the one I have, I've had it for about 4.5, 5 years now, and it costed me $225. But right now they're selling for over $300.
Oh,
but they last forever. Like that one that Virginia Roots is using right here.
Yeah.
Honest to God, that thing was made in 1920, what? 24,
1927.
1927.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I had to replace the gauge, and I purchased a jiggler for it, which are the weight. I had to replace those two things, but otherwise it's pretty hardy, and you can use the top as a shield.
Yeah,
there you go.
Solid. It's solid as a rock. It's built like a submarine torpedo launcher.
1927. God, that might have been designed by the Vanderbilts or something.
Yeah,
it's literally almost 100 years old. Yeah, but I'm eating canned food that I canned over 5 years ago. I mean, actually, I just had bar spaghetti I canned 4.5 years ago, 2 nights ago. It was delicious.
So shelf life is in terms of years, not months.
Yeah, your shelf life depends on how you store your food. Like my food's stored in the basement. It's a controlled temperature. There's no light at all. It's going to last for a long, long time.
Oh, no, I got a perfect spot for.
Yeah. When you pop the lid, when you can any food, when you pop the seal, you make sure there's nothing growing in it and you smell it. If there's nothing growing in it and it don't smell funky, eat it. As long as the seal's good. As long as the seal's good,
hi, Jeff.
No kidding.
And Mooseman says to Ghost, check your times, brother. Pints usually need 90 minutes and quarts need 110 to 120 minutes for meat and fish.
Nope. That's not true, Moose.
No, 75 for pints and 90 for quarts.
Yeah, it used to be longer. All that's been changed now. It used to be longer. I know, like there are people you can legit water bath canned meat. You just have to do it for like you start on Sunday and you can't stop till Thursday.
Yeah,
like it takes forever.
No kidding. That's why I wanted, because y'all are canning, and this is my next project, and I figured you guys could answer all these 101 questions for me.
Virginia Roots with that 100-year-old canner. The first time she canned was live with us. Susanna, the first time she canned was live with us, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Kim's Farm Life says, Keto Homestead, what you can, and I am canning broccoli soup base.
Next week we do the canning every other Saturday. So next Saturday is the Prepper Summit, and the following Saturday, since the poll was so close this week with Sloppy Joes and meatballs, and somebody actually cast a vote after the poll stopped, which put meatballs over the top, but we'd already decided on Sloppy Joes. So I'm thinking that just as a consolation prize, since a lot of people wanted the meatballs too, that we'll do the meatballs on the next canning session, if everybody's cool with that.
Have my entourage.
I've never done meatballs before,
Sounds good to me.
Hey, there's Jeff Bear. What's going on?
I haven't missed anything.
Got mine from Amazon. I'm a Prime member, so I had free shipping, so that was like really good.
Okay, so if I was a new canner and I was looking for recipe, hold on, I have dogs fighting under me. Guys, go somewhere else. And you heard that? If I was looking for the recipes, do I get the ball canning book, or is that a good place to start?
Yeah, that's the first book I got was the ball canning book. It's got a lot of really, really good recipes in there. And everything you need to know, you can learn pretty much from the ball canning book. And then it's just trial and error. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you're putting in there, meat wise or vegetable wise or whatever. The ball canning book covers it all pretty much. In my experience, it does. Now you can get creative and can things that they say you can't. Like I can milk. Jess at Keto Homestead, she cans cream cheese. I mean, they're not FDA approved. And while we mention that, let me go ahead and drop the disclaimer in here too. I've got it in the description, but we are not professional canners. This is for entertainment purposes only. Some of the recipes we use may or may not be approved by the FDA. You guys do your own research if you're going to start canning, and can at your own risk.
Stephanie says to Ghost, who will be on the panel next week, Ghost?
I am actually working on that right now. October the 2nd, we have the Angry Prepper and Gray Man on October the 2nd. I'm in the not negotiation, but I'm in the planning phase with Rudy, the Alaska Prepper, to get him a slot to do it, hopefully within the next month. I'm actually talking to Magic Prepper, trying to get him on. But I have not nailed down or decided who it's going to be this week yet. I should know by Wednesday. So next weekend, Jeff, is the Prepper Summit. We can every other weekend. The next weekend's Prepper Summit. The following weekend, we're going to do meatballs.
Pirate Chef Prepper says you should also consult the FDA canning book. You can download it free from their website.
And you can also log on to the National Center for Home Food Preservation, and they are a wealth of knowledge. Like you can get, the ball canning book and the National Center for Home Food Preservation.
Right.
It's like all you need. And you step by step.
Yeah,
the ball canning book is great.
My go-to is the National, Canning Association.
Bug Dude says Ghost and the Canimals are not professional canners. They just play them on YouTube.
That's right.
Charisse, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's very sweet. Thank you.
Thank you for the donation, Charisse.
Next time you got to come up here with us, Charisse.
Well, I'm going to go hit Amazon. Might have to pick up a few new books here so I can read up on what you guys are doing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I've a lot of stuff out of the ball canning book.
Charlie
But,
Marcus says
a lot of things
USDA
are
Complete Guide to Home Canning is a good one to have.
Yeah. Like once you can meat and you figure out how to do meat and you know what kind of vegetables and you know the high acid foods versus low acid foods, what you can water bath can, what you have to pressure can. I mean, once it just kind of falls into place, really. And then, like, if I have any questions, I'll just ask Jess because she knows everything about canning. So,
because we went to a farmer's market today out here in Texas, and there were so many canning tents, if you will. I mean, folks, jams, jellies, veggies, you name it. And I said, all right, I guess that's going to be my next project. So,
hey, Latina.
all right. Well, I'll leave you guys to it. I just wanted to pop in and hit you with some questions and say hello.
Brother. Anytime. Hey, hit me with an email.
It was good
I
to
will
see
do it.
you.
Same here.
Good to see you.
All right. Take care. Y'all be safe this weekend.
All right, you too. Christine, to the whole panel, what's your favorite thing to can and what's the most difficult? I'll go first. My favorite thing to can is chicken because you get free chicken bone broth with it. I love doing it, but it's also, in my opinion, the most difficult because it is an all day. It's usually a 12 to 14-hour process when I do it because I make several batches and it takes several hours to get the bone broth right. Sometimes it's a 2-day process. So not only is it my favorite, but to me, it's also the most difficult because I make it that difficult.
I would have to say my favorite thing to can is chicken also, but that's because I get chicken stock out of it. So I get 2 things out of one process, basically.
Thank you, Romy. All right, what you got, Virginia? What's your favorite?
So far, probably the ghee. I loved doing that, and that actually wasn't even pressure canned, but I love having it on hand. It is delicious. I've not done chicken yet, but I suspect that'll be up there once we get to that. But the ghee or the plain hamburger that we did, because you could add anything to it. I've made tacos, nachos. You can make it into chili or spaghetti. It's a blank slate, so I like having that on hand also.
What about you, Susanna?
My favorite thing to can is both the hamburger and the roast beef. Those are my 2 favorite things to can.
Yeah. You can can milk. Yes, it's not approved by the FDA, but I can milk and I use it, and it's delicious and it's stupid easy. I mean, it's fall off of a rock. Stupid easy.
Prepper says, do you use pectin and jam? Some recipes don't require it.
Yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what you're jamming or what you're making.
Yeah. Now, yesterday, or no, it was the day before yesterday, I made homemade pectin. You can do that out of raw green apples and make your own homemade liquid pectin, and it'll last a really long time. Brian says, does anyone can rabbit? I do. Can rabbit. Ghost is going to eventually start canning rabbit as well.
Pirate Chef Prepper says, Ghost, have you ever raw packed chicken?
Yeah, we did that, 4-6 weeks ago? We did it last month. We raw packed chicken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Lloyd says, how long does meat last after you can it, Ghost?
It depends on how you store it. I mean, years and years. There's your raw packed chicken right there.
Yep. And I put this in raw pack. The very bottom, I actually put in a whole chicken thigh, and then I put 2 legs on top. And they look great.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. So meat. I mean, as long as you can it correctly with quality equipment, a brand new seal on the lid, and it's stored correctly out of the sunlight, out of ambient sunlight, and in a temperature controlled environment, it will last for decades.
Dragonfly says, I'm going to make canned watermelon rinds, preserves, and watermelon jelly. You're going to have to let me know how that turns out. I was just talking to a couple of people about that today, and that is one thing I have never done.
Christine says, once you've canned something, how can you tell if it's gone bad before you open the jar, Ghost?
Before you open the jar, usually you'll know because your seal is popped on the lid, or you'll see stuff growing inside of it. But once you open that seal, you can tell by smelling it. 9 times you're going to smell it. Now, if you find a jar that the seal's popped and there's stuff growing in it, everything even remotely close to that jar needs to be washed and sanitized really, really good. I'm talking about if you have one jar that popped in a case of, say, beans, and you don't know when it popped, but now there's a chance of botulism, all the other jars around it, you need to put a sink full of good soapy water and wash those jars really, really good, the outside, to make sure there's no botulism toxin on the outside of those jars.
Cherry says, what's the shelf life of canned meat?
Decades. If you store it properly, it can last for decades. I know people that have eaten canned meat that's been canned for over 20 years. I'm eating it right now, and it's over 5 years of stuff that I canned, and it's perfectly fine.
Nice.
Brian says, who canned hamburger? Everybody, I believe everybody on the panel has canned hamburger so far.
Brian, we just canned hamburger 2 weeks, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago, we canned sausage patties, breakfast sausage. And I think Virginia canned hamburger patties when we canned sausage patties. Or was
I did
that
sausage and 101 did hamburger.
Yeah, 101 did hamburger patties.
Yeah.
But I've done hamburger patties several times. They'd work just fine. What meat would be good to can for gravy-based meat? Anything you want to. I mean, obviously you can't can the gravy because it's got a thickener in it, and you don't can things like that because they'll expand in the jars, and that ain't good. You can the meat, and then you make the gravy later.
With the sausage, you want to pre-cook it a little bit first if anyone tries that. Otherwise, it'll just cook itself into a big meatloaf. But
right.
Yeah, just patties. And so far, my family has eaten one of these, and they love it.
Oh, yeah. They're delicious.
This venture says, so you boil the chicken, then can meat. Can you can the broth then?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it takes me 2 days to do it. The last time I canned 35 pounds of chicken, and I canned 16 or 18 quarts of bone broth. And bone broth in the store goes for about $10 a quart.
Yeah.
And I canned 18 of them, which is free. So basically, my entire chicken, all that stuff is free if you look at the cost of what it would cost to buy that much bone broth.
Right. And I wanted to show, people were talking about the apple pectin. This is what the apple pectin came out to look like. So, really pretty.
That's such a great color too.
Charming says, preferences for raw pack hamburger or hot?
Don't raw pack hamburger because it's got too much grease in it. You wanna pre-cook your hamburger meat. I cook my patties and my ground beef about 80% through. I don't cook it all the way. I cook it about 80, where it's still like a little bit pink, it's light brown, and then can it. But you don't want to raw pack hamburger meat. It'll be messy. It'll be bad.
Thank you, Brian. I don't know. It depends on the hamburger you use too, Ghost, because
now if you use like super lean, yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, like I use grass-fed home-raised beef, to can with, and I will raw pack it, but that's because there's no fat added to it. It's very lean.
Yeah, if you've
Take
got
care,
like
North Shore.
minimal fat in it, yeah, you could definitely raw pack it. But like the store bought stuff, you know, the 80/20, 73, whatever, yeah, you want to cook some of that fat out of there, because otherwise you're just going to get like a big mess of greasy. It's like a meat candle is what you're going to get. You're going to get a meat candle.
Good night, North Shore. Brian says, "Hey, Barrett."
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, Mitch, you can do the hamburger patties dry, or you can do them with broth, with beef broth. Either way. Hey, North Shore Tail Pinball said hello.
Ghost, have you ever canned on an open fire?
No, not yet, but I plan on doing it. I'm building a fire pit out back. I want to do it just as a challenge, just to do it, just to show that it can be done. I mean, I know it can be done. I know it's going to be a pain in the butt. You know, keeping the pressure right.
Yeah.
Yes, Susanna.
Yeah, she is. Shit, missing any.
Yes, Brian, I'm right here canning.
Trudy Blessed Prepper asks, how long does apple pectin last after being canned?
Forever. As Ghost says, as long as you store it properly and can it properly, it'll be indefinitely. And that's basically why I can pectin, is because it does last so long. Not only that, if you go to your canning section in your local stores, pectin is off the shelf most of the time, anytime now.
Yep.
Jeff, I didn't see you asking any questions, Jeff. I'm sorry if I missed it.
I answered like 3 of yours back to back, and said
I'm
your
sorry,
name.
Jeff. I didn't see anything being said.
What are you talking about? I answered your questions, like 3 of them back to back.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I didn't see anything from you, so I would have read it out. Sorry. Oops. Now I feel bad.
If I ever canned over an open fire. I said not yet, but I plan on doing it. That wasn't like 3 minutes ago. And then before that, you asked. I remember answering your question.
Sorry, Jeff. I feel bad now.
I don't. I answered them.
Brian wants to know, what kind of apples do you use? You want to use the ones that aren't quite ripe yet, the little green ones, right before, you need to use them when they're small, because you're going to get the most pectin out of the skins and the core.
Stephanie asks, Ghost, when will you be doing a video on building the fire pit?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I can do a video on that. I plan on doing it here in the next 3 weeks. I'm trying to finish up building the rabbitry and getting the shelving done in my basement first.
Rabbits. Woo.
Everybody's asking if I have a video on the pectin. I don't. I did a live stream, and while I was on the live stream, I was processing the pectin. But probably next week I'll be doing another pectin round, so I will definitely put out a video.
Brian has a question for Jess. He says, what kind of apples did you use, Jess?
Yeah, I answered that. They're the little green ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the olive oil usually with peppers and herbs, etc. in it a canning thing?
Gemma, is it olive oil you see with peppers and herbs? Is it
really?
I haven't actually started canning yet, but I guess olive oil I should be able to can. I don't know how it would work, but I guess as long as, like Ghost says, you can it properly and you store it correctly, then I guess I shouldn't have any issues. Plus, where I live is pretty dry most of the time anyway.
Rip was just following your instructions and tagging you.
Oh, okay.
I
So
think.
my brain doesn't see things properly. So if people are asking me a joke or whatever, I don't process jokes too well. So I'm kind of trying to read things.
Good night, Christine. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, Angela.
Hey, Angela.
Hey, Angela.
Have a good day, Christine.
Well, we're glad you're having fun, Therese.
Oh, Sherry, the olive oil that we have over here is often infused, so it'll be infused with like spices or
Okay.
like I know I have an olive oil in my cupboard which is infused with chilies and different things. So yeah. Virginia, you got a question from Latina Prepper there.
Latina, this pot holds 6 quarts. I can look at the bottom later on. We looked at it once before. I don't remember how many liters it was, but it holds 6 quarts or about 8 pints. Actually, about 7 pints. It's a smaller than what a lot of everyone else is using, and I cannot double stack in mine easily. I could with really tiny jars, but not with pints.
Charlie Marcus says all our apple trees got frostbite, so no apples around here this year. Gonna have to buy some. Ouch, that's sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
Yeah. I've got a whole bunch of apples coming up because I cut down a cherry tree that was right next to the apple tree. So it opened up a lot of light, and I'm going to try and make cider for the first time and distill it. We'll see.
Jerry says, okay, so what's the difference? Whoa, the chat's jumping. Sorry, guys. What's the difference between infused or canned?
Infused. If you infuse something, it's preserved by the oil. If you can, it's preserved by the pressure of the canner.
That's good to know. Yeah, we got some jiggling going on.
Let's see. Where was that question? Does anybody can pig feet? I do not can pig feet just because the appearance of it is not appetizing for myself. But when I do process chicken, I will process the chicken feet in my bone broth.
You're fun, Therese. It's good to ask questions. That's what I'm doing here, being on the panel. I ask questions. It will help me when I start doing things. So we all learn.
Hey, happy birthday, Hoot! And it's
Happy birthday, Hoot!
Today is my YouTube 6-month anniversary. 6 months ago today, my first video.
Congratulations, Ghost! Woohoo!
Happy birthday, Hoot!
Happy birthday,
Robert Troll says, Ghost, how deep to have to go to make a can house here in North Carolina?
I'm assuming you mean like a place to store your canned foods. I mean, I have mine in the basement. You only have to go down a couple of feet below ground level to get a constant ambient temperature. So you don't have to go very deep. If you don't have a basement, you can literally just get a galvanized trash can and bury it to the lid and just put your stuff down inside there, and it's basically a root cellar. A lot of people do that.
Happy birthday, Hoot! I moved a little further away from my jiggler, so hopefully my sound isn't as bad, you guys.
Yeah, it's been 6 months, man. I can't believe it. That's crazy.
Yep.
6 months to celebrate, Ghost.
Yep, 6 months.
Yeah.
It just seems like not that long.
Do what?
It doesn't even seem like that long.
I know.
Barrett said for a root cellar, you gotta dig 3 feet. At 3 feet, it won't freeze.
Yeah.
Dragonflies Ozark Homestead says, Jess, do you have a video on how to make the apple pectin?
No, it's coming soon.
Yeah, Sherry, you would have to go below the frost line. The problem is it depends on where you live. Like where I live here, I mean, it you know, it gets, a little bit cold a few days in the wintertime, but it's nothing brutal. But yeah, if you're in somewhere where you get some good sub-zero temperatures, yeah, you're gonna have to go, below the frost line. But all that stuff is readily available at your would it be the city planning office? They literally have guidelines in every area you're at. Like somebody sits behind a desk and makes stupid amounts of money, government, tax money to come up with these figures and stuff like that. So you can legit, there's probably a website that can tell you, depending on where you live, how deep you need to go.
Jevon or Javon says, glad you're on, Ghost. You are the main creator that boosted my confidence to get ready to can.
Awesome. When are you going to get up here and join us? Now that you're confident, get up here and can with us. Virginia did.
Therese says, what's the best way to store canned food if you don't have a root cellar?
If it depends on where you live. The number one thing is you want to keep the temperature constant, and you want to keep it no hotter than, I would say, 75, maybe 78. Like my basement stays around 64 in the winter to maybe 67, 68 in the summer. But that's kind of where you want to keep it. And the second thing you want to do is make sure it's not in direct sunlight. Thank you, Stanley. I appreciate that. Yeah, it needs to be a cool, dry place out of the sun. Yeah, in a perfect world, you want to keep it below 70, in the 60s. You don't want to go too much lower than that. And you don't want to go too higher than that. The thing is, a real important thing is you don't want a huge temperature swing. You don't want your stuff to be in the 50s in the wintertime, and you don't want it to be up in the high 70s in the summertime. That's too much of a temperature swing. You want to keep it, maybe 6 to 8 degrees and have it be a gradual change from winter to summer.
Yeah. Jevon says, I'm not tech talented. I can only text and observe.
Oh, well, that's fine. As long as you're learning how to can and you're canning, it works for me.
Yeah, so guys, if you do have any questions for Ghost or anyone on the panel, tag me in the chat, and then as soon as I see it, and as quickly as I'm able to see it, I will read it out so people can see their questions are being answered. I am trying my best to keep up to date with the chat, so make sure you tag me, so then it doesn't put much pressure onto Ghost or the other people who are trying to can their food.
Everybody's asking what you're canning up, Jess.
Oh, I'm canning up broccoli soup base.
Broccoli soup base.
Yes.
Looks so good.
I'm basically canning broccoli and chicken stock, and then when I'm ready to eat it, I'll empty the jar and I'll add like heavy whipping cream, and then I'll be able to have cream of broccoli.
Oh, that looks yummy.
That looks so good.
Hi, everybody. The weather here is cold. It's been raining for the last 15 hours. I've actually got the window open right now just to keep some fresh air in, but it's cold.
When I was in Florida, I had a spare room in my house. There was no basement, but I kept the room, no sunlight, but the temperature, it stayed in the 70s, usually between 74 and 76 in the summertime. Of course, where I was at in Florida, it's always summer. But, my stuff kept fine for years. Now, having it here in the temperature that I have it in now, it'll probably last twice as long as it would in Florida because the temperature difference and it's more stable.
Firefly, I'm in the Northwest and my glasses are slipping off of my face because I'm sweating so much, but it's really only in the 80s And because I'm used to hanging out in 45 degrees is perfect to me. And so anything that breaks above the 80s, where it's like you can't breathe. But last week and a couple of weeks before that, we broke 115. And that is very unusual for out here. And it was miserable.
Stuart says, actually, an overcast and cooler day in my little piece of Texas. Humidity is high.
Mm. The humidity is what makes it feel so moist outside. I mean, yeah. Cherish, how is it in Idaho?
Stanley says to Jess, looks awesome. We love cream of broccoli soup. Stanley and Donna.
Thank you.
And MC is in northern Minnesota. Nice.
Pastor of Reality. I'm digging that name. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Pastor of Reality. I like that.
Nice. Me too. I like that name. That's catchy.
Klingon
And
Princess. What's going on? MC. Hello.
Hello, Klingon Princess. How are you?
Hey, did you guys get a chance to watch Hutch's live stream today?
Yes.
He took us for a motorcycle ride to a state park, I believe it was. It was gorgeous. But he strapped his camera or his phone to like his handlebars on his bike and went down some curvy roads. It was a really cool live stream.
It was very cool.
Widgets World says they're in Utah where it's hot and dry.
Food Owl says, Caribbean House, are your jars in the canner yet?
Also, do we know the timer on Susanna? Mine come out at 7:30. That'll be my 90 minutes. But I didn't hear if she had her timer.
Stuart says, got a few other canner that have guided me, but Ghost and the ever awesome panel with a push to actually do it. Nice, Stuart.
Awesome.
At 8. Mine is at 8.
The people that actually inspired me and got me to actually start buying the Canon stuff was Jess and Ghost. When they talked to me about it, I'm like, what is that? And then when I start watching them, I'm like, oh, maybe this is something I should be doing. So I've actually started getting myself more involved in learning about it.
Yeah. Lala's Venture, it's me. Lala's Venture, it's me. Yeah, that would be a good option. The only issue I would possibly see is in laundry rooms when you're turning the washer and dryer on and off. The temperature may increase and decrease several times in there with the food, and that might not be a really good idea.
Right. And another thing to think about is the hot water tank. If you have the hot water tank in there.
Take it easy, Shift Kicker. Have a good night. Good to see you.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, if that's the only place you have to store it, you have to do what you got to do. It's just that it's not going to make them go bad in a week, but it's the shelf life is going to be drastically reduced with that temperature fluctuation going up and down.
Sunsets on the Gulf are amazing. Says, what's the lady's channel that cans the pectin, please? That'll be Keto Homestead with Jess, who's on the panel. She's the lady that's been doing the pectin things. So.
Yeah, if I have a mod in the room, can they drop some links? I know Jess's channel, Gemma's channel. Jenna, you're a mod. You can drop links.
Yeah. Okay. I just didn't want to risk the YouTube browser playing for when I've got the StreamYard up. So I was trying to keep the YouTube
They haven't
flow.
messed with it yet, so
Hello, Monty. Nice to see you.
Actually, then I could actually want me to do it. I could do it with my phone. Actually, what am I playing at? Hold on a second.
Charlie Marcus. Charlie, yeah, that is a good question. And believe it or not, I think I get it every single week. How many jars do I have? I do not know. I counted them once, probably 2 years ago, and I was over 1,000. And I still buy jars, so I have no clue how many I have. I know it's well into the 4 digits, but I couldn't even remotely give you a ballpark figure. It's less than 3,000, more than 1,000.
Wow.
But I've been
Oh,
buying.
there we
them.
go. I've been bet to it. Klingon Princess has already been dropping the links in the chat. I just went to do it, and they've been dropping the links. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot Klingons here. Never mind. That's like the super mod. She's all over. She's killing it.
I went to do it, and then I realised that Klingons are even doing it, so I won't spam the chat out with more links.
What's going on, Monty?
Hi, Monty.
Hi, Monty.
Any suggestions if you can the half pints and stacking them? Any suggestions? Yeah, I stack it when I do pints. I'll double stack them. You just got to make sure you have a separator in there. I've done it with the pints several times. I've never double stacked the quarts. I've just done it with pints.
Hey, Monty.
Yeah, I've got several jars. I went on a jar. I started every time they had jars in the store, I would just get 2 cases. Like every day, every other day, I was bringing home a case or 2 cases of jars when I started canning, just to make sure I didn't run out, which was awesome. Lids, I have twice as many lids as I have jars. I've got lots of lids.
Man, I'm having trouble finding lids.
I know.
Firefly Farm says, will vinegar help with poison ivy?
Yes,
Virginia.
it'll burn.
Hey, Virginia.
Yep.
Virginia, send me an email with your PO or your address. I'll send you some lids.
Okay.
Because I've got plenty.
I'll do that.
Lala,
I can't have you running out.
just call me Lala. Okay.
You're welcome, Lala.
I bought a case of generic lids off of Amazon, and I have used them, but I can tell you they create a seal, but when they come off, they bend so easily that you really can't reuse them again.
Yeah. Yeah, just send me your address. I'll send you some lids. I can't have you running out of lids, and you won't be up here canning making me look good.
I know, right?
Thank you, Klingon, for dropping my link. I appreciate that. Pastor of Reality. I really like your name, dude. You've got a really catchy name. I'm gonna have to check you out off the stream.
I do not. I wish I had some of those antique jars, but I don't. I have all mine are relatively new.
I've got some of those, Pastor, but they're for liquids. Like they're sort of like beer bottles that have the metal clasp and a stopper. And I may or may not know people that make apple shine and share that or various different things.
Oh. So did you guys see my live stream about my rabbits getting away?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
Can you believe they all came back?
Oh, good. I'm glad they came back.
Like a pet dog. I mean, I walked out into the woods out behind my house, and one at a time, they just came right up to my feet, and I picked them up and put them back in the cage. It was crazy.
That's good. They came back. I loved seeing the rabbits. I'm looking forward to getting to name the one for me. I'm excited about that.
Getting close.
To name the bunny.
It won't be long, and she's gonna have her next litter in like 7 to 10 days, probably. I think around the
Oh,
23rd,
sweet.
24th. Yeah, firefly, they all got out. Well, 7 out of the 9 got out into the woods behind my house. And I just went walking through the woods, and I'd see one and it would come running right up to my feet and like literally wait for me to pick it up. And I brought it back to the cage, stuck it in the cage, one rabbit at a time. Took me about an hour, but they all came right back.
Brian says, do you can a lot of rabbit?
I haven't canned any yet. The litter of kits that I got right now is my first litter. And I don't plan on processing any of them because they're my first litter. I'm going to use them in the breeding program. And then Zai actually purchased one of the bucks.
Hold on, who Al? Let me have a look at what you said.
Storm.
Oh,
and then I'm also giving him 2 of the kits from this litter to get his rabbitry off. So yeah, I'm not processing any of the first litter. The rest of them are rabbit McNuggets. They're all going in the pot or the freezer. And I'm gonna can a whole bunch of rabbit meat.
Who Al? I didn't see your post that you put in the chat. If you want to repeat it, and I'll let Ghost know you've asked something, but I don't see it in the chat.
Yeah, Charlie, I was thinking it was going to suck. I was going to be chasing rabbits, but because I pick them up and I physically handle them every single day since the day they were born, like 10 minutes after they were born, I was holding them. And every day they touch me. Every day I pick them up. They're used to me. And so I walked out into the woods and they literally came up to me one at a time, and I just picked them up and put them back in the cage. It was crazy.
Good night, Javon. Have a good night.
Night, Javon.
Sherry covers ears. No, bunny stew.
So who else in the chat was canning? I believe Caribbean, and I thought there was someone else.
Brian's asking Jess, is Barrett canning with you tonight?
Barrett don't can. He stays far away from the canner. I just cook. He says he just cooks.
Yeah, who Al? If you want to put your message back in the chat that you ought to ask Ghost, as soon as I see it, I'll read it out to him. But I haven't seen it. My apologies. You want to ask the question again?
Lala says Clorox and scrub poison ivy. So apparently somebody's got poison ivy. All right, I'm going to share a remedy that my great grandmother told me when I was a child, because I was allergic to poison ivy. If I was like within 20 feet of poison ivy, I would get it, and it would get into my bloodstream, and it would get in my eyes, my mouth, everywhere. Like I would literally go to the hospital with poison ivy. It was crazy, and I didn't even have to touch it. And when I was little, I remember my grandmother told me, she said, just pee on it. I'm like, what? She goes, get in the shower, pee on it, let it dry, then take a shower. And I'm like, no, that's gross. And then I got poison ivy a few more times. And finally one day I'm like, you know what? I've had enough of this. And I got in the shower and I peed on it. And I'm here to tell you, I did that 3 or 4 times over the next couple of years. And since that day, I have never had it again. I can go out and pick it up. I can make a salad out of poison ivy and eat it. And I don't get it. It's like really the weirdest thing ever. I don't know if I outgrew it or if the peeing on it really works, but it was my grandma. So I'm going to give her the credit. Pee on it.
I swear that grandmas, that was their remedy for everything. That's the same thing with athlete's feet. Pee on it and it takes care of it. And
now, apparently, it has to be your pee because it's unique to your body. You can't just go around and start peeing on everybody else. You know, hey, can I pee on your poison ivy? You don't want to do that.
My grandma used to say that over here when we get stung by stinging nettle plants, my grandma, I remember her saying to me one time, because I always used to react to stinging nettles. My grandma was like, Gemma, how many times have I told you, whenever you get stung by a stinging nettle on your leg or whatnot, you need to pee on it? I went, no, why would I do that? And she goes, trust me, you'll be quickly healed rather than having a worse reaction. I was like, no, that's silly. And then she's like, Gemma, you'll learn. And then about the 4th or 5th time, I was like, okay, I'm sick of having an itchy or sore stinging leg. I was like, I'll go and do it. And that seemed to work. Whereas now I don't get a reaction to stinging nettles. So
Angela B. Awesome. Canned pork butt. all day.
Nice.
I probably canned 50, maybe 60 pounds of pork butt about a year and a half ago. So I'm still eating on that.
Hey,
But yeah,
Angela B and C, how are you?
Barrett was
Pork.
saying in the background to tell you guys cow patties too. If you step in cow patties, that'll take care of a lot of stuff. Athlete feet and poison ivy and stuff like that.
Huh.
Oh, nice. And Charlie Marcus says, spider bite, black walnut leaf, crush them up with table salt till it's a paste, put over the bite and cover. Next morning it'll be gone.
Yes, you can, Caribbean. You can Italian sausage. And I'm gonna defer to Jess with this, if you can can it raw pack or not. It's just gonna depend on the fat content. But myself, most of the Italian sausage isn't really loaded with fat, is it, Jess?
No, I would definitely do it raw pack, but I do a lot of meat raw pack, so that's just my preferred method.
Thank you, Angela. Well, it's actually the morning for me. It's currently 2:31, so it's early in the morning for me right now. Yeah, Al? I did say to you about 3 or 4 times, if you want to re-ask the question, as I didn't see it. If you want to re-ask Ghost or tag me, then I'll see it as soon as it comes up in the chat. But I did apologise for not seeing it, so I don't know if you've gone, if you're still here.
That's a good one.
I look pretty rough. I'm in my my zebra print pajamas. I'm in my PJs. Sherry Leach says to Jess, "Is it a texture thing, Jess, for raw packing?"
I don't think Jess heard you.
Yes, Sherry. She said, Sherry Leach says, is it a texture thing for raw packaging?
I think it's more of a looks thing, not texture. It depends. It depends on you, though. Everybody's going to have different opinion. But what I noticed is raw pack versus the cooked is it doesn't look as appetizing.
Yeah.
And like Jess said with that as well, I'll add on to that for my own opinion. Like with regards to textures, everyone's going to be different. It's your taste palette as well. Like for me, I'm very sensitive to a lot of different tastes. So for me, it would be definitely a texture thing. So everyone's different.
Well, Caribbean House, if you're doing, say, if you're raw packing chicken like thighs and legs, you don't put anything in the jar. You just shove the chicken in there. It makes its own broth. As far as hamburger meat, I've never raw packed hamburger meat, so I don't know. But I don't really think you would have to add any moisture if you're raw packing meat.
Mm-hmm.
Sunsets on the Gulf says, how about storing under the bed?
That's where I kept mine in Florida when I ran out of room before I put it in the spare bedroom. I would just slide the jars under the bed. Perfect place to keep it dark, no sunlight, and usually you keep your bedroom at a decent temperature if you're sleeping in there. So it's a perfect place to keep your stuff. How you doing on time, Virginia? Susanna, where you guys at?
I've got 1 hour. My turn off time is 7:30.
That's about where I'm at.
I have a half an hour left.
Woo, girl, yes.
Susanna's way out of the lead today.
I love it.
That's why she's got her camera off, Virginia. She did what they did in drag racing. She had a whole shot. She probably already had all her jars packed and sitting in the canner ready to go when we started.
They've been done since yesterday. She's just going to show us.
She's going to pretend like the jars are hot when she turns her camera on. She did them yesterday. She pulled them out of the cabinet and set them on the table.
Ghost knows all my secrets.
Rock on, Susanna.
No, I've been trying really hard to get, to keep up and um make sure I'm checking my like lid and everything. Um because last time, well, not last time, a couple times before that, um what do you call that little thing that pops up and then pops back down? Um it came unscrewed one of those times, and it didn't really hurt the time. I just had to get like replace it really quick because I had a replacement for it. And what happened was the screw just came out inside of it, and then, you know, later when it was done later on, I found it and then put it back together.
Hello, Hannah. How are you tonight? Are you watching us can food live on the computer?
Too cool. So nice to meet you, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
Yeah, everybody say hello to Hannah.
Hello, Hannah.
Hello, Hannah. Nice to meet you.
Who else says somebody is doing something with my name? It won't let me control my own posts.
Huh. That's strange.
It's not me.
It's not me.
I
That's
know
not.
it would have to be like a Google mod or somebody.
Yeah, if they feel that it's something that's not good for the chat, then it'll be removed.
Everybody in the chat saying hello to Hannah too. Widget World. Sherry Leach said hello, Hannah. Debbie Sims said hello, Hannah. Widgets World said hello, Hannah. Hannah, you're popular.
Yes, girl.
Cherie says you just made her day, Ghost. Thanks a lot.
It ain't over yet. Lita says hello, Hannah. Bug Dude says, hey, Hannah.
Caribbean House says hi, Hannah.
Hello, Hannah. Not a problem, Therese.
Not a problem, Therese. It's always good to say hello to new people.
Hey, Hoot, I was checking to see if they were being held by me, because I have certain keywords that if people type, it automatically pulls it to the side. But if it does that, it shows me on my screen, and there's nothing being held on my end from you.
They did that to me with Angela. No, it was Alicia Stone. That's who it was. And she was on my stream, and I could literally see the Google mods taking her stuff off, and it would tell me Google mods have removed this.
Huh.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I haven't got anything.
Who else? I don't know. Then you're going to have to maybe go into your account settings and see why you're not showing up or why the questions aren't showing up.
Yeah, I'm checking right now, Hoot. It's not showing anything on my end.
Yeah, I scrolled through the StreamYard chat, and sometimes we can see stuff, even if something that you guys say is taken down by a moderator or a Google moderator. A lot of the times we can see it, and I don't even see anything for a while from you.
Man,
That's
everybody.
bizarre.
Hannah, you're still popular. Stuart says hello. Zaz waving at you. MC says hello. Pastor of Reality says hello. Hannah, you're getting more attention than we are. Brian says
Right?
hello. I have to start charging you royalties. Pastor said hello twice. You're famous. You are YouTube famous.
Too cool. Hannah, believe it or not, my mother wanted to name me Hannah, and she changed her mind at the last minute. But I was supposed to be Hannah as well.
Yes, Brian, we canned butter here a couple months back. We canned it with Rudy, the Alaska prepper. He came on here with us and canned with us, or he actually talked us through the process of canning ghee. It's actually really fun. It's actually, I think the ghee canning stream was probably my funnest. I think that's the best one we've done. I had more fun doing that one than anything else, I believe.
I loved it.
Yeah, because I mean, it was like you had to like stay by the pot, like you had to give it attention the entire time.
Had to stir and stir, but it was soothing, you know.
Yeah.
I know it's a little late, but I was supposed to be named Hannah too. It's really weird.
I wanted to be named Hannah, but
you know what's even more weird? You know what's even more weird? I show this to a lot of people, but on my wrists, you know how you have veins on your wrist?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On my left wrist, can you see that?
Mm.
There's an H.
Yeah, there is.
Now on my right one, there's a cursive J.
Huh.
Can you see that?
That's insane.
I always thought that was really weird.
Man, now I'm looking at my wrist.
Brian says to Jess, have you ever just canned regular fresh broccoli?
No. I always just do it in a soup base.
Oh, you guys need to make sure you tune in to tomorrow night for a prep rally. I've got a killer scenario. Like, I've been working on this one for days. It is so good. It's going to blow backwoods away. He's going to be like, what? Pause and go to the bathroom. Like, he's going to be like, wait, let me think about this one for a minute. It's going to be good.
I'm glad you guys are doing that again. It was so much fun last week.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really liked Backwards. He's a really funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I sent him an email and a text message asking him to come up here tonight, but I guess he must be tired. Well, it's Saturday. He probably worked all day.
Yeah. Hot. That's funny, Sherry. So 3 of us in here were supposed to be Hannah's so far.
My little sister ended up being a Hannah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've actually got a cousin called Hannah who actually found me via YouTube a few weeks ago, and I haven't seen her in... Well, she fell out with my mum's family when my mum got married about 12, 13 years ago. She stopped speaking to me, and then she saw my channel, and she's been reaching out to me, so I'm hopefully going to be reconnecting with my cousin thanks to YouTube. She's now 20... She's 26, I think, and she just had her first child. So, yay. That's going to be interesting.
It is really, really cool that you connected that way. That's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen her or her brother, my cousin Matthew, in over 16 years. So for them to reach out to me on YouTube's been quite weird.
Pastor of Reality, is there anything that you would recommend not to can? I would recommend, now, even though some people say you can and some people do it, I haven't. I would recommend not canning pasta, rice, or anything with a thickener in it. Anything, that any kind of thickening agent like cornstarch, flour, things like that. I would not can that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, the children do change people. I'm an auntie to an 8-year-old. My younger sister has a little boy, so children definitely do change people. Good night, Red Dog.
Good night, Red Dog.
Night, Red Dog.
Hey, nerd, what's going on?
Hey, Prepper Nerd. And I must say thank you to some of the people who came in here in the chat, who came to my stream that I did for Ghost Prepper the other day. I really appreciate all the people that came in to support him. I know Jess was there, and I think Virginia popped in, and a few other people came in and supported Ghost and me as well. So I do appreciate the support. I'm going to try and get Ghost some more new friends, and we had a blast. And I had Jess up on the panel with me. We had a really good time.
Yeah, we did.
Lala. We can ghee here on this channel. If you go back on the canning lives, I'm actually going to put them in a folder. But if you go back on my live streams on the canning lives, we can ghee live here with Rudy, and it's been back a couple months ago. Or you can just go to his channel, the Alaska Prepper, and he has a couple of videos on canning ghee that are really easy to follow along. Either way you want to do it. Watching his
Therese
videos is
says,
probably easier.
can you can soup beans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Soup
can
beans
every
are
kind of
one
bean there is.
Yeah, soup beans are usually any type of bean actually is one of the easiest things to can.
Yeah.
Hello, Arkansas will pass.
Arkansas whoop ass. I like that. Howdy.
Hi.
Yeah, and I
tell you
just
what,
want to mention.
pretty much every single prepper from Arkansas or homesteader, or they got the flag up on their, yeah, everybody.
I just want to mention too, if anybody is nervous of getting on Ghost's panel to can for the first time, I do private one-on-one canning sessions on Saturday behind the scenes. So if you want to get more comfortable canning, you can come behind the scenes with me. There's more information on my about page. And then when you're more comfortable, you can jump on Ghost's panel and come over here and do it with everybody else.
Yep. That is true. Usually if I'm not live canning, then Jess is. Jess is always in the kitchen doing something, like at 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. She's cooking something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jess is awesome. I love watching your cooking. Sometimes I'll be watching the breakfast, but I'm not chatting because I'm actually on my way to bed. You know how it is. But or I watch your dinner. I watched your eggplant dish the other day. I mean, Jess is an awesome cook if you guys like any of that kind of stuff. And her garden is amazing.
Yeah, her garden is really, really cool.
I haven't really been doing the cook with me on Sunday mornings because the garden has exploded. So my main focus right now is just getting everything out of the garden and canning and getting it put up. So my schedule on YouTube is just all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Hey, nerd.
Do what?
Prepper nerd. Just
Oh.
saying hello. Yeah.
Yeah, Ghost makes panels a lot easier, Bug Dude. Like when I did my little stream for Ghost the other day, luckily that Jess and Ghost both came in, he made it so much more easier for me because I was a bit anxious like doing the stream for him, and then as soon as I saw him in the chat, I was just like, it's a lot easier to stream with someone.
There's a link if anybody wants to come up.
I find that true too, Gemma. Like certain panels, like no offense to anybody, but if I don't know anybody in that panel, it kind of makes me nervous to jump up. Even though I'm invited, I'm like, I don't know anybody in this chat. I gotta wait until somebody I know is in here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I do that. I guess for a lot of creators as well, it's more of a safety thing. Like for me, I'd like to only stream with people that I know very well or that I've known over a year. I don't want to stream with new people that I don't know. Right. So usually I only stream with certain people.
Yeah, I get it. I'm the same
Princess is all over it. Look at her, just dropping links like crazy. And she's doing this from her phone.
Yeah, I don't know how people drop links from the phone. I don't understand that concept.
I can do it on my phone sometimes, but when I'm on a panel, I try not to because I like to keep focused on the panel and on the chat, so I try not to.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
Nala says, was the Alaskan prepper nearer the earthquake?
I don't think so. That was a few weeks back. I don't think so. I'm not positive.
Right.
Don't quote me on that.
Lita says, still a bit unsure on canning. Have much waiting for me to get up the motivation.
That's a very good point, Angela B. from NC, and I am living proof of that. I transported over 1,000 jars of canned goods from where I lived in Florida to where I am now in the Carolinas, and I stacked them 6 and 7 high, but I put the rings back on, and I only went halfway down, so all the weight was onto the threads, not the lids. And out of well over 1,000 jars, I only lost 1 seal on the transport. That counts the loading and unloading. I only lost 1 seal, which was awesome. So you can stack.
Lala says, no, there was an earthquake in Alaska yesterday, as well as one in Haiti. I heard about the one in Haiti. I woke up to that yesterday morning, and it was all over the British news.
Yeah, I didn't know. I know there was one up there a few weeks ago. I didn't know there was one yesterday.
Yeah, I'm aware about the one in Haiti. The British press has been reporting about it constantly since I woke up yesterday.
I've never canned duck. I don't think anybody on the panel has. Jess maybe has.
I can duck, and it's really good.
There you go.
Now, duck is one that you wouldn't want to raw pack because duck is so not gamey, but greasy and fatty. So you would want to pre-cook the duck.
Yeah, Danny says Rudy said on the EQ a few weeks ago that it was not anywhere near. Oh, that's good. At least it wasn't anywhere near his property, so that's good. I'm lucky where I am in the UK. We don't really get earthquakes or any kind of bad weather. I think the worst weather we've had was
Damn, Dusty.
about 3 or 4 months ago when we had a thunderstorm.
I just jumped in, man. I haven't been feeling good all day, man. I had some bad eggs. I think I left them out in the sun too long or something. Ooh. And I've been blowing chunks all day.
Oh, man. Gemma, have you met Dusty?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I'm in my underground bunker.
I met Dusty when I first came onto your panel, Ghost.
Hey, Dusty Dada.
And I also met Dusty in Jess's chat too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever seen this? This is one of them Atlas.
Yep.
Atlas bunkers.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Got me a picture to put on the green screen.
I like it.
I hope you're feeling better, Dusty.
Oh, it is. It's rough. It's like I had listeria one time down in Laredo, and that really knocked it out of me. I slept at least 20 hours yesterday, and all night without even getting up. So it's really kicking my butt.
Ouch.
But
you need some activated charcoal to help you out.
Well, I've been trying to flush my system with as much water as I can get in. Try to eat something to literally push it out, get it all out of me. I sweated for about an hour today, so that helped a little bit.
Wow.
But I can see it in my eyes right here, man. Look at the blackness under there.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've gotten 20 hours of sleep. So.
Wow.
Heck yeah, man. How's that sandwich turning out?
Good.
So far,
I didn't get the recipe.
Don't you got to join us another time. You did awesome the first time.
Oh, I definitely want to. I wanted to do this one, but like I said, I just wasn't ready for it. And
yeah.
Have you canned anything else since that first time? Dusty?
No, I haven't.
He needs the peer pressure.
Yeah.
Lala says, always float those eggs before using.
Yeah, it's my first time actually raising chickens. So, the learning process, and then you got to learn sometimes the hard way.
Yeah. So if I should add to that, if you float your eggs and they sink in the water, they're fresh. If they float, they're not good.
Okay. But I've been getting 6 to 8 eggs from 6 hens every day.
That's
Not
good.
bad.
So they're happy. I mean, it's like 100 degrees here, but they're happy.
Right.
Aw.
They seem to lay a lot more in really, really hot weather.
Well, they molted for about a week or two, and they weren't laying anything for that week or two when they were molting.
Yeah.
So it's a learning process, though, you know.
Who else is hey Dusty? Glad that you're here.
Yeah, you guys notice I don't ever pay attention to the chat. That's not that I can't.
That's why
I'm focused on you
I've
guys,
been
man.
reading the chat the whole time.
It's Hoot Owl's birthday. And I would sing, but everyone knows how that goes.
Happy birthday.
Yep. I think he's 24 today. 24, 25.
Wow.
Oh
he's
wow,
young.
they're younger than me. I'm 33 this year.
Too.
Really? I didn't think you were over 27.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm 33 in October.
Wow. I didn't think you were in your 30s at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Very
wish I was
young.
younger. I wish.
I think
I'm the
Ghost
oldest
is
of
like
3 children.
32.
There's me and my sister and my brother.
That's 52.
Hey,
Yeah,
you've been working on that flag, man.
Yeah,
It's hard to blend them colors.
I bet. That thing
Who
looks
else
cool.
is Dusty? Let's hear you sing happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. I tell you what, put a picture of yourself up there, and I'll put Marilyn Monroe singing for you.
Boom.
Oh, I've been going through the internet while I'm sick, man, and I've been finding all kind of old footage, all the way back to the 1800s.
Wow.
What? Of just
Oh,
like random
wow.
stuff.
Just regional stuff like in Europe, some American. It's just people took a lot of photographs and stuff back then, and they're trying to upgrade the footage on the digital so it lasts forever.
Right.
So I'm coming across it by just hunting for this stuff, man. And it's really neat looking back at the ages. People didn't have shoes.
Right.
Who else says no, Dusty, about the picture?
Oh, be a team player.
No, I have not, Lala.
I have.
My 30s have been awesome so far. I've not felt upset or anything about being in my 30s. A lot of people don't believe that I am. So,
Hello, Mad Max. Yeah,
hey, Mad Max.
Nobody believes me. I'm in my late 30s either.
I don't know
No,
why nobody
I know
believes
when
me.
I
I'm in my
spoke to Jess in
50s.
private about that, I was like, no way.
Lala,
Just
do
so-
me a
just so
favor.
you
Email
all
me
know.
whatever you got on that and bring me up to speed if you would. Ghostclipper1369 @gmail. Just shoot me an email on that.
Just so
Sounds
you all know, I'm 40 something.
No
Yeah,
way,
right.
Susanna. No way.
I am.
Yep.
You sound so
what?
young.
No, I'm in my late 40s. I'm 48.
That's a hard one to believe.
That's still young.
I'm 4 years older than you.
Hey, I was
Right.
digging your video you dropped earlier, man.
Who, mine?
Yeah.
I get,
what-
man, I get like when I get one of my episodes, I just got to let it out. And I'm like, trust me, I didn't say what I wanted to say because I wanted to make sure the video got to stay up. But I just get so pissed about some dumb stuff like that. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? And you're getting all upset about it, you know?
You've been there, so you agree. Them people don't even know where we are at. Literally, if you pulled out a map or globe and said, who are the people that hate you? They're not going to, they're not going to look in that area.
No,
Hey,
it
Barrett.
is what it is. I have fun doing videos like that because I know it ticks off a lot of people. But most of the people go, oh, you got a point. I'm like, why are you even worried about it? There's nothing you can do about it. Nobody cares about your opinion. Go put some rice and beans in a bucket. Move on. Kick rocks. Do something productive.
I was watching, but Bjorn, is that you know what I'm talking about, the guy over in Norway, and he was talking about
Bjorn.
not fear mongering, and he made a pretty good valid argument about it. You know, it's not doing any good.
Christine
it
says,
ain't.
according
We
to
agree on
some
that
Americans,
completely.
Australia doesn't exist. Really?
If you can't reach out and touch it, if you physically can't reach out and touch it or change anything that has to do with it, why are you worried about it? If you physically cannot alter its destination, touch it, or you can't influence it, why are you worried about it? Why are you even thinking about it?
I tell you who to worry about. Some snake handlers down the street.
Yeah, I mean, if you physically can't touch it and alter the outcome, why are you wasting brain power? Why are you worried about it?
We can only change issues that are local to us. We need to stop worrying about things that we can't do. We need to focus on the smaller issues.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you, Hoot. I appreciate that. I was kind of worried. I figured maybe I'd make some people mad, but I didn't care, to be honest with you.
I loved it, man. It inspired the hell out of me to pull this up. You know, it's like, hey, man, if you're that way, get a bunker, go down in there.
Yeah. You know.
Ghost videos like about certain topics recently he's done have really hit home with me, especially like when I had him off my panel about the sharing is caring video that he done. That really hit me. I was just like, and I kind of had to take a step back. I was like, oh wow.
Thing about Afghanistan that I posted today. We were there for 2 decades and we didn't know where they were at.
Mm-hmm.
The number, America is probably one of the top 4 in the world as far as intelligence agencies go. We fall behind Israel, we fall behind Russia, and we fall behind Germany. We're probably number 4. Okay, we were in Afghanistan for over 2 decades and we didn't know where they were at. Now we're all home, and all of a sudden now we got colorized maps and we know where everybody is. Give me a break, people. Come on, man. That's just, and they believe it.
Yeah.
Doc Rizzo says, are the 3 needle group with what we find here in Central Virginia as good as the 5 needle group safe for pine needle tea? Thanks, guys.
And everything's got breaking news in front of it. For those of you on YouTube that don't know what breaking news is, let me tell you what breaking news is, okay? About 10 minutes ago, I walked around the corner just because I felt uncomfortable farting on screen, and I let one rip right around the corner. That's breaking news because nobody knows about that but me. I just shared it with you. You guys are the first to hear that. That is breaking news, okay?
Hang on, I'm Twittering it.
We heard it right here.
Watching somebody else's YouTube channel that puts the word news in their channel like it's a legit news company, like the news companies, any of the news companies are legit nowadays anyway, and replaying it 2 days after it came out and call it breaking news. It's not breaking. There's nothing breaking about that. You're just repeating what somebody else said, and it's not intel. Don't call it an intel drop, okay? The message that Arkansas Living put out today about the actual DHS, right? Their form, that's legitimate intel, government document released to the public, legit. That's intel. It's independently verifiable and true. All right. This breaking news intel drops is just noise. It's 2 lips smacking together, making no sense. That's not intel. That's information. And information can be false and it can be true. It's not intelligence. Big difference.
Well, I consider all that commentary anyway. If it's all opinion based and it's going to persuade you one way or the other, it's going to be commentary.
Yeah,
and they're just
it's really good clickbait, but I'm not doing that. I'll show you how to put food up. I'll show you how to feed your family. I'll show you how to purify water. I'll show you how to raise rabbits. I'll show you how to grow stuff in buckets. You know, I'm not going to show you nuclear explosions and tell you how to survive a nuclear war. Nobody knows how to survive a nuclear war. There's breaking news for you, unless you're Japanese and you were born in like 1920, and that wasn't even nuclear. That was a hydrogen bomb. Okay, big freaking difference. So when you post a video that says, here's what you need to do in the first 3 hours of a nuclear explosion, it's horse shit from the beginning. Nobody knows. It's never happened before. Here's what you do if a comet's going to hit the planet. How would you know? How did it work out for the dinosaurs? Right? You don't know. So why would you post videos? An instructional video. All right, here's my instructional video on nuclear war. Stick your head between your legs and pucker up. Run to the middle of Main Street, Main and First, and try to catch it on the way down. I mean, what? Come on, it's
Okay. Now I do have a confession to make. I do have some breaking news. I really did kind of what Ghost said, but not really. I wasn't ready. I did I was doing my stuff as you were talking in the beginning, so that's breaking news.
Now we're sharing actual intel. This is actual breaking news and intelligence. It's independently verifiable and true.
So Susanna's timer off?
Yes, I just turned off my feet.
Excellent. Breaking actual news. I was just in the restroom and I didn't hear but the tail end as I came back in. That is actual true news. I just used the restroom. Verifiable.
Yeah, and here's the thing, no matter what disaster it is, no matter what breaking news disaster they're teaching you how to survive, I've already taught you the most important thing you need to learn. You better have some food or it ain't gonna matter. You better have some water, it ain't gonna matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You gotta eat.
I'm gonna tell you that experiment you're doing on them plants, that is very important. It's nice to know that you trial and error with your tomato plants growing. They grow, but they fruit.
Right.
The hydroponics, it's weird. I've heard this before from other people, and it's it's good for people to check it out to see if it's true.
I'm gonna go big screen here and show you some here are the hydroponic tomatoes. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. Look how tiny they are. All right.
Oh, wow.
Here's one of my Cherokee purples from the dirt.
Wow.
And this is, take this and multiply it times 4, and that's how big my big Zac is out there. It's massive. It's the size of a cantaloupe. Dang. Now, I got comments in the comment section from my garden update about the hydroponics. Oh man, you need to put a oxygen in a bubble. I know that. I've been doing hydroponics for years. Go back to the first video and where it says an experiment, SHTF, the roughest garden you can possibly grow in buckets. Can I grow stuff and live without oxygen, without power? That's the point of doing it this way.
Yeah.
And I don't mind reminding the people in chat, no, I did it this way on purpose, just to show the difference in soil versus hydroponics without aeration. I mean, and I still have to put 5 times as much effort into hydroponic tomatoes as I do the soil tomatoes with the rabbits. So no more hydroponic tomatoes. I'm growing them in the dirt with the rabbit poop from now on because it works and it's easy. But yeah, I thought people would kind of get something out of that, just for the experiment part, so it's, plus I learned a lot too, man. Like, look at my potatoes, I didn't water them enough. So I've got another batch in the dirt and they're going to get water. And I even had a few people saying it's too late in the year to do potatoes. No, it's not. I'll bring them in the basement. If it gets cold, I'll bring them inside and I'll bring them outside the next morning. I'll do it every single day if I got to, because you know what? In an SHTF situation, you don't have anything else to do. Get up and carry your plants outside when it warms up and bring them inside when it gets too cold for them all winter long. Deal with it. Just do it. That's what I'm going to do. But yes, the garden thing has been kind of popular. It's like, really? You did what? I'm like, yeah. And dude, my cantaloupe, you should see it. It's massive. It's massive. And it's growing in nothing but rabbit poop. That's the only thing in the bucket is rabbit manure. And that's because Tribe dared me to do it. He's like, well, if the rabbit poop's so good, just plant it in rabbit poop. I'm like, well, I will right now. And I went outside and I planted it and it went nuts.
Now, what are you feeding them rabbits? Just pellets?
High protein pellets, but I also feed them. They get probably, oh my God, they get like all the cantaloupes and watermelons that I ate this year. I save the rinds and I freeze them. And I freeze carrots, celery, and that's what I give them during the day when it's hot. I give them frozen watermelon, cantaloupe rinds, and frozen carrots and celery. And I give them, they probably go through, out of all the rabbits I got right now, they probably go through 3 heads of lettuce a week. I feed them fresh lettuce. But now, right now, I'm growing lettuce. I'm growing spinach, kale, and Swiss chard strictly for the rabbits. And then collard greens. They love collard greens. Absolutely go. They will fight for collard greens. So that's what I'm growing for the rabbits. So, and grass. I give them fresh grass. I'll pull up 3 or 4 handfuls of grass, and so I vary their diet up. But they still get quite a bit of pellets. But pellets are cheap. It's like $15 for a 50-pound bag. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But yeah, they're getting massive, man. They're huge.
I didn't know if chickens like fresh grass, so I threw some of my clippings that I did the other day, I mowed grass. I threw them in there with chickens. They seem to love it.
Dude, chickens will eat anything, dude. They eat rocks. Yep. I mean, they legit eat rocks, but they use that in their gullet to mash up the food and stuff they eat. I didn't know that until I grew up later on. When I was a kid, I'm like, why are these chickens eating rocks? They're stupid.
Wow.
But yeah, chickens will eat anything.
Well, I know somebody said to give them rehash the shells back to them.
Yep.
And it'll help with their eggs.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet because I'm kind of leery about it. But
Eggshells are a great resource for the garden. Also, you can dry them out and grind them up.
Yeah, it's a great. The eggshell has lots of calcium. That's why it's good for the garden and the chickens.
Well, I mean, it's just like the fish food that I was feeding my tilapia. It's fish meal. I mean, you're feeding the fish. Well, fish eat fish in the wild, so what's the problem? People are freaking out, oh my God, I can't believe you're feeding them fish meal. I'm like, what the hell do you think they eat in the pond? I mean, there's not a McDonald's at the bottom of the water. They eat little fish. They eat other fish. Like my tilapia that I was raising, I was told you can't have more than 30 or 35 tilapia in my IBC tote. I had 150 fish in there. And they were fat and happy because I let them free breed and they were eating babies. The babies that didn't get eaten grew up and then I ate them. But I didn't not breed them. I let them do what they do normal in nature. People are like, oh my God, they're eating all the babies. That's what they do in nature. That's why Mama Tilapia has 2,000 babies at one time. The ones that get to the bottom and hide in the pipes that I dropped in the bottom of the tank, they grow big enough not to get eaten and then they're happy. It's normal. It happens in life. And guess what? My feed costs got cut in half by doing that. And it's pure protein. And those were some big fish, man. Man, my tilapia, they were like 3.5 pounds. They were massive. They were 15, 16, 18 inches long, in 10 months.
I like tilapia, man. I love it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fish
I've never
guy.
had fresh tilapia, though.
Catfish.
I've never had fresh tilapia, though.
Oh, dude, if you eat tilapia from the store and then you get fresh, organic, grown tilapia that you grew in your backyard, there's no comparison. It's like, oh my, there is no comparison. It's like taking a really good smoked sausage and comparing it to a Vienna sausage. I mean, it's not even the same animal.
Heck yeah. So it all sounds sound, man, because I don't know if it's the Incas, the Aztecs, or the Mayans.
Yeah,
they did that. They would weave their hydroponic garden over a lake with fish in it, and it would all just. I think that's what killed them all off is they overdid it, overbred themselves.
Yeah, they did it in China. They've been doing it for hundreds of years. What they'll do is they'll have dams like around the rice paddies, and they'll bust the dam open and let the water flow in with the fish and everything, and they feed and they fertilize the ground, and and that the Aztecs, I think it was the Aztecs and the Mayans, or was it? I know what you're talking about. I've seen the pictures of them doing it, but they had like the little floaty rafts out there. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd weave them together, and then eventually they'd have the whole lake, and trees would be growing in that thing. I think what happened was it would just overtake the lake, and it would not replenish enough fast enough, and they probably hit a drought season, and they probably just starved to death. Or got diseased, There's no telling really. That history's lost. But man, what we could have learned from that. if we could adapt that into our culture now, oh,
Glad to see you're feeling better, we the people.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better.
he's not down and out in his truck, is he?
Mm.
That would
Dude.
suck. I got sick with listeria in my truck, dude. They almost had to take me to the hospital, but you know, being in a semi truck, I was in Wisconsin. I'm like, nah, just let me sleep it off. Go to the hospital in Wisconsin, wake up with cheese in my blood.
No, he has the cove.
I'm sorry, we the people. I hope you feel better.
Yep.
Jim, are you canning too?
Not today, no. But I did get my my first canning equipment yesterday with my dad. So on the next stream, I'll be canning with everybody. I brought my first ever canner. So
Awesome.
yeah, thanks
I
to
know,
Ghost and Jess helping me out.
Cool.
Yeah, you could go on with Jess and like get all the kinks worked out, and we could do like the same thing.
Yeah.
Remember to grease up the rim, man, because that's what I forgot to do was grease up that rim, and it got vapor locked. The seal, it actually did seal metal on metal.
Oh yeah.
I had to take a hammer to it, and it scared backwards. He was like, "Don't do it, don't do it. I can see something bad happening."
When you did it, I started laughing. I'm like, I did the same thing. I'm like, go get your hammer. Go get your hammer.
What kind of camera did you get, Gemma? Did you get the Presto?
It's similar to what you guys have got. It's about this big, and I got the mason jars with the screw lids that you guys have got, and I've got the little the utensil that you guys use to pick the cans up with.
Yeah, I was just wondering if yours had a seal inside of it, if it was metal to metal.
Yeah, it's a metal one, and my bless his heart, my dad, bless him, because I'd saved up for the canner for a while because I knew that I was going to get one, and my dad was like, Gemma, I know you don't have much like income and stuff because I've been on disability and stuff. So my dad said, you know what, I'll get it. And I was just like, what?
That's awesome.
So my dad brought it for me. So,
That's awesome, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's really thoughtful like that, and he knows that I need stuff that's going to help me, and he knows that I'll make sure you find out what your altitude is. Yeah, I'll ask Ghost or Jess. I'll make sure they help me out because I'm completely new to this, so I'm probably going to make a lot of mistakes.
No, I'm not going to drive again for if I ever go back to driving, which I doubt I am. I'd have to get my own semi, and there's a lot of regulations right here that's not being talked about, but we have to get permits about bugs, little bugs that'll attach themselves underneath the truck and travel from Pennsylvania to Ohio, and it destroys the crops in Ohio.
Hey, yeah, keep your bugs out here.
And that costs money to get those permits.
Yeah, Caribbean House. My dad's really thoughtful like that. He does like get stuff that I'll actually like need and stuff. Like recently, he got me some stuff for like my YouTube channel. Like he got me some notepads and other stuff. So my dad does be considerate if I need stuff. So, and plus, because I'm his firstborn, like my younger sister always says, "Oh, Gemma's daddy's favourite. Gemma just clicks her fingers and she gets what she wants." I'm like, no, not all the time. I do actually save up a lot of stuff on my own.
Gemma's got a Mercedes, don't you?
No, I'm not talking of driving. It's actually a good thing you brought up because I was actually going to discuss this on a different stream. But here in the UK, if you have if I don't want to say mental disorder, but that's what the UK government calls it. For people with autism over here, we're not allowed to drive. We're seen as a problem to ourselves and to other road users. So I used to have a provisional license, which means I was learning to drive, and then when I declared that I was autistic, nope. The government wrote to me and basically said, nope, hand over your license or it'll be taken from you. So I had to...
Scooters too? Like scooters or pads?
scooters or cars or any of that kind of stuff, we're not allowed to drive if you are classed to have a mental disorder, which is what mine is classed as. Yeah, I will, Debbie. I'll go through the information. I'm an avid reader, so I'll make sure I read everything.
Yeah, I love talking to other people from other countries, learning their culture,
Mm-hmm.
the 21st century culture they live in. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
would it be wrong for you to have a motorized bicycle? Like, we got some that are like really low tech. They're bicycles with little gas powered motors on them.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite close to my dad. Like, people call me spoilt brat or whatever because they claim that I can get what I want from my dad all the time, but that's not necessarily the case. My dad is quite strict with me when it comes to certain things. So if it, like, I asked him about his canner weeks and weeks and weeks ago, and then my dad said, "Well, if you saved up," I'm like, "Yeah, I've got a little bit of money." And my dad then decided that yesterday when we went to the store to actually have a look, he was like, "You know what? Yes, I know you've saved up." He goes, "Screw it, I'll get it." He goes, "I know you're going to benefit from it, and I don't want you using your disability for it." So he bought it for me. So I'm quite lucky in that aspect with my dad.
Yeah, I'm a dad. I know.
Right. Nice.
I'm the oldest of three, so there's me, and there's my sister who just turned 29 in April. Then there's my my half brother from another dad who just turned 21 in July. So I'm the oldest of three.
What is going on?
What's up?
What's this echo?
No, I can't see. I can't hear an echo. I don't think.
Mm-mm. No, I'll mute. Hold on.
Yeah, Felicia, I'm actually going to do part of my my cooking and stuff for my dad because when I used to live with him, I used to actually get up early in the morning to cook him a what I used to call a breakfast muffin for him to take to work because he's a builder. So I used to get up at like 5 in the morning, cook him his breakfast, pack him a coffee in his little flask to take with him for work for the day. I'd come home. He'd come home at 7 o'clock at night my time, and I'd be on the oven again doing his dinner. So he'd sit down, have his nighttime coffee and his dinner, and I'd do it all again the next morning, get up, do breakfast. I used to do it like every day whilst my dad was working. Well,
All
I
right,
lived
so
with
what
him,
I gotta
used to
ask,
do it.
I gotta ask about the coffee. Now you brought it up. What kind of coffee y'all got?
We have what we call the English coffee. We have what we call a builder's coffee. What I used to call my recipe was called the
What the
daddy
hell is
coffee,
going
where
on?
it was kind of we mix it between what we call the builder's coffee and a traditional English coffee. So I would put, so for me first I put the milk in first, followed by the coffee granules, then the water, then I'd stir it, and then add the sugar on top, stir it again, and then I'd add his favourite creamer on top of it, mix it all again, and put it into his little thermos flask. And that's what my dad still has now. I'll still make it for him occasionally if he comes to my apartment. He's like, "Oh, make me a daddy's coffee, will you?" I'm like, "All right." So I make it when he comes around here. So
Are you hearing it on my end, Ghost? I got my microphone kind of near my speaker here. If I need
It
to,
was me. It was me. For some reason, I had YouTube open, and it unmuted itself, which was weird.
that's weird.
that's why I never have the YouTube web browser open if I'm on a panel, because I know it'll either repeat or something will happen. So you usually don't have it open.
Canada to use. I'm not sure. It's the All American 921. It holds 7 quarts or 16 pints. It's an All
Yeah,
American.
I love my dad's definitely. Like I can I used to make coffee for my dad like I lived with my dad from when I was 14 up until I was 20, and I moved into supported housing until I was 23, and I moved into a shared house until I was 25. I moved here when I was 25, and I'm now nearly 33. So I've lived on my own for ever since I was about 16. I've lived on my own, technically.
Wow.
Yeah, Therese. I do that from time to time, Therese, just to keep everybody on their toes to see if they miss me or not. I'll just ghost people. But I usually pop right back in to see if they miss me or not. That's a good idea. We the people. I think that'd be a really good idea to kind of and then again, I'm sure you've thought of this too, and other people probably said something. Just it's gonna be hard to share what you've been through without, ringing a few bells. You know what I mean? So to speak. But that'll be an awesome live.
Yeah, I try and be a good daughter. That my dad's raised me and my sister quite well. We've both lived with him at times. My sister lived with our dad she moved out of my mum's house, or our mum's house, when she was 13 because she was, let's just say, a rebellious little madam who needed to be taught manners. And my mum basically said, if you don't respect me, you'll respect your dad. And my dad pretty much put his foot down and was like, yeah, your behaviour's going to stop now. And she lived with him until she moved out of our dad's house when she was 26 because she fell pregnant with my nephew, and then she got her own house. And she's now 29. She's doing really well, and she has a healthy 8-year-old little boy who's spoiled, thanks to me and my sister probably giving into him too much. But yeah.
Susanna, you should be done by now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to come down still.
How about you, Virginia?
I have 7 minutes and then I turn it off.
I just turned mine off.
Well, you know how I cool faster, so.
Yeah. I can't help it. I'm seasoned. I stay hot.
Mm-hmm. Well, Susanna, we should be able to see soon. So, I don't remember what kind you were using, but you have to wait for the little peg to go back down. Is that what it is, Susanna? The indicator?
Yeah, I have to wait for it to go down.
Ghost, do you date older women? It's been so long since I dated. I can't even remember what age I was at the time.
The thought of dating for me, no thank you. Nope. I'm good being single pringle on my own. I've got too much to do.
I gotta go take Buddy outside to pee. Be right back.
Okay. I'm very happy to be a single pringle. Dating does not faze me, and I do not think about it. No thank you.
That's probably a wise choice.
Yeah, for me it definitely is. Especially with me being socially awkward, yes.
At the same time, though, there's someone out there. You never know. I never say never. You might find.
Yeah. Maybe eventually it could be, yeah.
Hey, Jimmo, you want to see something pretty?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the All-American 930.
Oh, my one looks very similar to that. That's at my dad's house.
That is beautiful. Look how shiny it is.
And it
That's
is
well
huge.
pretty.
It holds 14 quart jars.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, nice.
So it's super tall.
Yeah. I only did 7 jars the last time, and it's like, okay, what do I do with the rest of the space? Is that actually going to hurt me? Should I have filled it up with empty jars? But everything turned out all right other than it vapor locking,
Hey, it's all good. My first time involved a hammer too.
Okay. Now it's starting to get a little bit better. I'm not going to get razzed by it.
I turned off the camera and
Ghost is
involved the hammer.
currently letting his dog out. I think he'll be back in a minute. He's currently not on the screen.
Right.
But yeah, I'm
Debbie?
ready. I'm set up for it to do it again. I don't know.
I think the next session is meatballs. So, just for the joy of being able to say meatballs in as many different dialects as you can think of, come on,
Meatballs.
you get meatballs.
You know,
I
after y'all
like
did
meatballs.
after y'all did the bacon, that's when bacon went on sale here. So I actually racked up on a bunch of bacon right after y'all did the baking one. But it didn't make it to the cans yet, so I'm still eating it.
Pirate Chef Prepper says, nope, just can what you have. Use olive oil or petroleum jelly on the lid and pot. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to use olive oil.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
olive
I would
oil.
I would definitely use an edible oil personally.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really got
Lala
to do it if
says,
you're not using it, right?
did y'all use a specific recipe for the sloppy joes?
Yeah, Ghost posted it on his community page. What did you say, Dusty?
You shouldn't, once you clean it, you shouldn't really put the oil back on it until you use it again.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why. So I'm waiting on doing that until I use it again.
If it sits a while, I try to put oil on mine every third or fourth canning.
Stephanie asked Ghost, how are your folks doing? She put a question in the chat to you.
Everybody's doing good.
But Dusty, that might be different for you because I just thought of that. I have a seal on my, or I have a ring on mine. Yours is metal to metal, so you might have to oil yours every time.
No.
No?
I'm shocked. I don't.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I literally, for some reason, it like, even after it's really weird. I probably oil it maybe every third or fourth time that I use it.
Okay, so it's the same.
Once you oil it the first time, I think like the heating process, the whole heating the aluminum, I think it actually I don't know if it soaks into the metal or what, but it makes its own seal that just stays there. It's really weird. Like now, if I give it a good wash or really good scrubbing, I'll oil it really good. But if I'm just rinsing it out because I didn't have any siphoning issues and I just rinse out the inside and dump it, I don't even re-oil it then. It's like waterproof.
Good
Really
to know.
Lala, I cheated and used
Hey,
manual.
there's Prepper 101. Hey, dude, how are you?
Shout out to 101.
What's happening, 101? I posted the link at the top of the chat if you want to come up here. If not, I'll drop it in here in the chat as well. How's that?
I don't know if Ghost or Jess saw my new video that I posted earlier. Me and Ghost actually touched on the topic of my video yesterday, and I did a video about senses and the sensory system of autism today. I touched about the kind of different areas that I struggle in, as well as the general autistic population. I mean, Ghost did actually touch on that topic yesterday briefly, so I actually did an in-depth video on it earlier.
Hello, Prepper 101.
Hey, Prepper 101, good to see you.
Hello, Erin Woods.
I searched 20 minutes for that email for the link. Did he send me a new one? I mean, where is it? Isn't it? Did I already read the file?
Yeah, I sent like 3 links out the other day and got them all. I was sending the wrong links to the wrong people for the wrong show because I was trying to do all 3 shows at the same time, and I'm like, no, I was like, nah.
Lala says, where do you find the rings for them? I'm sure my old pressure cooker will need one because I'm sure Mama hadn't used since the early 1990s.
You can get them off Amazon or you can get them from the factory, depending on what kind it is. Like I don't know when All American stopped using seals or if they ever even used them, but mine's metal on metal, so I don't have to worry about seals. No, 101, I didn't get your email. I haven't checked in the last 3 or 4 hours, but it may have come through. I don't know. Sorry about that.
Dusty, I was going to say you look a lot better than you did when you first came on in the stream. You're looking a lot more colourful.
It helps to smile and be in a good mood and get around people talking,
Yeah.
and smiling is the best medicine.
Plus, you're surrounded by a whole bunch of good-looking women, so that always helps.
You know how old guys are, man. Look at all these good-looking women in here. I'm the top dog now, buddy.
Yep.
Well, I guess I can say the same about being around you men. Like it's good for me to be around a lot more men, because I spend a lot more time, especially over here, being around ladies. So I spend a lot more time online talking to men than I would over here. So
It's the Sean Connery beard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the gray. It's the gray. 101 says, Dusty, are you staying with secret stuff? Looks like his mama's basement. I'm in the bunker behind you.
I'm digging him, man. He's actually what he's doing. I've seen a lot of people do for over time. He's watching the drama stuff unfold, and that's kind of what he does. But I always like looking at prepper stuff. If he's got a bunker, I'm listening. Because he's done it.
Technically, it's not a bunker; it's a storm shelter. I can break into that thing. I mean, I watched the build. I mean, it's a decent storm shelter. The rebar was done all wrong. The rebar was done way wrong. But I mean, hey, if it works, it works. Still better than the bunker I got. So I ain't complaining.
This one, I think, cost about $60,000.
Yeah, I actually think I saw the episode where that one was featured.
Yeah, it's got the air pump in it. Was awesome.
Yeah,
I'm like, heck yeah, man.
System, 2 exits, water filtration system, all kinds of stuff in that one.
Lala's asking where everybody's from. I'm from the UK, Lala. It's currently 3:33 in the morning for me right now.
There's a fault in this concept. The fault is if you don't ever leave it, it becomes a tomb.
Yeah.
So it's really nothing for an immediate danger.
Right.
So to live down there, you would have to be, you'd be out of your mind after a while. You go bouncing off the wall. This is not very big.
No. Well, plus the first one that they did, they only had one way in and one way out.
Yeah.
They started doing the emergency exits.
Well, in Florida, it has to be airtight, watertight.
Yeah.
Because they can't bury it here without it being like basically a tube that's solid. They actually had to produce an actual tank.
Well, I know when they built JFK's over on the East Coast back in the 60s, it was just a culvert, and they just kind of buried it in the sand right off the beach. Like, they didn't really dig a hole. They just kind of covered it up. Basically in a sand dune.
What I think would be neat if you started building these underwater, just build them underwater, man. Who the hell's going to get you? They'd have to hold their breath to fight the airlock, Yeah.
Wait a minute. Debbie Sims, I'm in Alabama and have family in those hills, Tennessee, Covington, Memphis. I used to live in Memphis. I used to live right outside of Memphis, Germantown.
I've been to all 48 states, man. All these 48 states.
I've been to about half of them.
I've been to.
I used to hang out in West Memphis, Arkansas. That's where I did my training for Schneider.
West Memphis, been there.
Nice.
Been
That's
there.
a tough place there, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That ain't no joke. West Memphis is something.
Yeah, it is. 101, I turned off my heat 5 minutes ago, but have not pulled anything out of the canner yet. We should be able to see Susanna's work soon, though.
She finished that shit yesterday.
Well, she did. It's dramatic pause.
Shelby County. Yep.
So, did you actually show the recipe for the Manwich?
Yeah, I linked it on the. I put it in my community tab. I linked from
Okay.
the recipe, but none of us did it homemade. We all just did it out of the can. I'm just so used to eating it out of the can. I like that flavor. I didn't want to, can a big batch of something that I've never tasted before.
Who Al? I have no idea what you're on about.
Oh, he's talking about this guy's secret stuff. This something happened a couple months ago. It ain't no big deal. It's a troll.
I listen to all preppers, no matter if you like them or not personally. They may have something to add somewhere in there. They may have something.
Yep.
It's worth always just investigating. You don't have to like the people or even talk to them. Just look what they got. That's what they're there for, to show you what they got.
You got to learn how to prep. Learn how to prep from everybody. Don't just try to make friends. You want to learn how to prep. I mean, I hated my squad leader, but I'd follow him into battle in a minute. He was an asshole, but he knew what he was doing.
It's like Ghost has said, like, you can always learn to do things. Like, for me, I've never done, like, prepping things before. I've never thought about having to, like, store food and stuff. It wasn't until Jess and Ghost started educating me. I'm like, why haven't I been doing this? I kind of store food in my freezer and things before that I've bulk cooked, but I've never actually thought about doing it properly, as in doing the proper canning system. And I'm like, why didn't I do this years ago? I should have been doing this way back. But now I'm actually getting into it and learning that I can help myself.
Did y'all go through that toilet paper shortage over in the UK?
Yeah. Stupidly, yes.
You live and you learn.
Yes. So when our first lockdown happened, everyone was like, the essential thing is toilet roll. Make sure you got plenty of it. Make sure you have enough of it to last you. And I remember going to the store for the first time, and my dad and I tried to look for toilet roll, and every single store we went to, we must have gone to about 6-7 different stores, gone. Literally every single shelf was gone. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I ended up getting some from a local petrol station. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I didn't know that, Hoot. I didn't even know he was. I didn't even know Just Josh is the one that he was talking about. I knew he was talking mad crap about Gray Man, but I didn't know he was messing with Josh.
Oh, that was because we was all on a live messing with him, talking
okay.
how he was trying to email Just Josh, because he was like, I don't remember the whole situation, but he was inviting Just Josh to come, I guess, competitively jog with him or something. And he just kept going on it like he was in love with him or something. And that's where we took it.
Oh, my goodness.
We took it down that road on purpose just to make fun of it.
I got you.
And I every time Prepper Tribe paused the thing in his video, it made him look stuck up. His nose was in the air every time he paused it.
I remember
come on,
that.
man. You're pausing it right there.
Yeah, that was a funny video.
Yeah, you just gotta know how this all works. Once we're on here, don't say things you shouldn't say, and if you really don't mean them, you're gonna have to come back and retract your statement eventually. Yeah. So kind of watch what you say.
Dusty, because if you've been to his channel, I mean, he's been around for a while, and like all the new stuff that he's putting out, he's getting like 200-300 videos, 300 views. But if you go back a few years, dude, he's got like tens of thousands of views on some of his videos. I'm going, wait a minute, what's going on here? What happened? What changed? Did he like take a break and lose all of his subscribers, for a year?
People lost interest, man. They really, it's like I have 21,000 views from 13 years ago on a video on another page. I got a lot of pages. On a page I got 13 years ago, I got 21,000 views on one video.
Wow.
It doesn't account for anything. When they monetized it, that's when it started accounting for things.
Right.
I think it depends on the type of content you do as well, though. Because if you're doing a certain niche of content, or you decide to change it up after a while, YouTube won't recommend you as much as if you're focusing on one area. Like with me, I'm very focused. My content is purely autism and mental health content. So if I was to do something different, YouTube wouldn't recommend me as much. So it's just about the content that you do as well.
Yeah. What's up?
Hello, Hutch.
Hey, Hutch.
We got room if you want to come up. Click the link.
Hutch.
I like you were doing those videos, the relaxation videos, Ghost. I was liking
Yep.
those, man. I
Man,
think you
love
ought to create another channel just to do just that.
I want to. I'm gonna have to get a better computer, but because dude, just to do a 10-minute video and get the licensing all right and do it with the music, just to do a 10-minute video was like 6 hours.
Oh, I know.
And that was not the uploading. That was just doing the video. And then getting it to upload was like another, 2 hours. Like I would like literally do it late at night, and I would click upload and go to bed, and I would wake up in the morning, and it would still be doing the encoding stuff. It took forever.
Lala says, can you can a spaghetti that has wine in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh,
Those
that's
chickens.
interesting.
I mean, I don't know why you
Stephanie,
could.
hold on,
The
Stephanie.
sauce
I
will
missed
cook
something
out
you
the
said to
I
me.
alcohol.
don't
Hold
know. I
on.
don't know because it's alcohol. It's going to intensify the flavor, wouldn't it, Jess?
No, because it'll be all right. You can with it.
Yep.
I don't think it'd hurt it. I mean, it might. The flavor may change. I mean, I
I
don't know.
personally have never done it before, but I've watched a lot of people can with the wines and stuff like that. But I personally haven't tasted it myself, so I can't say if it intensifies it or not.
Right.
I only have about a few minutes left before it hits 0.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, cherries. Of course, I'll keep on making my content. Like that's the reason why I do it. So people like you who have loved ones with autism or people who may work with people with autism and stuff. It's just a way to break down. Like I changed my about section earlier, and I basically included saying that I help to break down the stigmas and the labels, and because a lot of people are like, well, your about section's a bit bland, like you haven't really explained what you're actually doing. I'm like, you know what, that's a fair deal, so I went and changed it.
Don't y'all ever don't ever get hurt by people coming in here and saying things, because these people coming in here saying things, I think they're actually from another country and they're paid to do it. They're paid to try to take us down like this individually, because I've even had people on my page for years. They'll come over, they'll say some hateful stuff, and they don't even have any content. And I'm like, okay, what do you mean by that? And they'll never respond to it. And it's like,
right.
What was the point of that? Other than to discourage me to continue on for no, and I'm not anybody and I'm not doing anything. So why are you trying to discourage a peon?
Yeah. It's like when people make comments like that. Like at first, when I first started my channel, I used to get upset when I get a negative comment. And now I look at it, if I get a negative comment from somebody that's not subscribed to me, I don't even respond.
Yeah.
And if I get a negative comment from somebody, like say on my gardening video, like you were talking about, my SHTF garden, and they look at update number 31 and want to make a negative comment when they haven't seen any of the other updates, and they don't even know what the entire experiment's about, and try to correct me on it. I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for years. I know exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, I know you put bubbler stones in there if you want to, but that's not what I'm doing here. That's not what the experiment was about. So I read it, but I don't get upset about it anymore. I just kind of, I don't even respond. It's like, why? You're not subscribed to me, and you didn't watch any of the other videos. It's like reading the last chapter of a book and trying to tell me, what happened in the first chapter. Read the entire book.
Well, what it does for the bigger channels is they'll pay somebody to come read their comments, and if it's worthy to comment about, they'll suggest it to the creator that, hey, you might want to comment on this. But they're having people proofread all their comments. They don't even worry about them.
Okay.
All the original channels, man. Oh man, there's the one guy, MK. He's been around since the very beginning. He was like a little kid when he started, and he's got like 25 million subscribers.
Wow.
I mean, some of these guys have been around since it started, since YouTube's ever started. They were the first ones to post videos back in 96.
I'll be on here 7 years next January.
I've been on here 14 years.
You'd be surprised, Lala. I actually had one person. I won't say his name because he's still in the community, and I see him in other chat rooms, but I'm not trying to stick a knife in anybody's back. But I did a video when I first started, and I had my service dog in the video, Buddy, and he literally put a comment and it said, I'm trying to remember what it was word for word, but it said, nobody gives a shit about nobody gives a shit about your service dog or your fake PTSD. That was the gist of the entire comment. And this is somebody that we all know. He's in several chats.
Damn.
And I'm like, I didn't even respond. I'm like, I'm not even going there. I responded to him personally. And I actually tried to get him up on Dangerous's panel one night to take care of that quick, fast, and in a hurry in front of God and everybody like I usually do. But he wouldn't get up there with me. I mean, because you guys know me. I mean, you're going to call me out.
Now, look, I can see attacking you, Ghost, but Buddy, geez, man, come on. What's Buddy done?
And it's not like it was a video about my service dog or a video about PTSD. He happened to be, it was in the video when I first started and I was doing a tour of the basement and he was in my video. And I showed him and everybody's like, oh, pretty dog, what's that? So this buddy is my service dog. And then somebody asked about it. I'm like, no, it's for, PTSD. And it was just a comment. I was answering a comment to somebody. He just jumped right on it. And I'm like, really? So I immediately went to his channel and I saw the guy sitting in a dark basement and, stepmommy's, rented house. And I'm like,
that's ridiculous, man.
And your dirty socks and dirty underwear and you're going to criticize me. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, Travis. Absolutely. Autism is a special greatness, exactly. It's not a need as such, yeah. People say, oh, you have a special need, or this is the thing with autism which I get frustrated with. People always tell me that having autism is you're a special needs person. I'm like, don't call me that. That really frustrates me because I don't see myself as having special needs. It's just a different ability of seeing the world. Don't call me special needs. That really agitates me when people do that.
See, I like this clip-on one though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beard.
I think he's got one of them rabbits stuck on there, man.
His ghost beard actually looks like a bit like Santa Claus. He's actually got the snowy.
It is getting a little bit out of hand. I might need to trim this thing up. I've never trimmed it. I've never trimmed it, nothing, since I started growing it about a year ago. I just let it do whatever.
I'm proud of this, man. It took me 44 years to grow this beard. I'm Native American, man. I don't even have hair on my chest.
Yeah,
I don't have a hair on my arms.
No, I know that people were saying about ghosts having negative comments. Like when I first started my YouTube channel, the amount of comments I used to get, people saying that I was faking my autism or that I was too calm to be autistic or that I was too functioning to have anything wrong with me. And I'm like, really? You don't know me? Like, just because I may present myself differently or mimic my symptoms or the struggles, it doesn't mean that I don't have it. Just because I may not flip out or swear or lose my temper on the stream doesn't mean I don't do it in private.
Now swearing, that goes more toward that, what is that one? The Tourette's?
Right.
I had a friend, he was straight up, he had Tourette's all the way. He was like 20 years older than me. We would drink beer and he would drink milk. And every time we'd get him flustered or something, you just see him start going off. And I'm like, look, man, we don't understand what you mean. Are you really cussing at us? Because, I mean, but he was a great guy, man. I miss him. He passed away about 10 years ago.
Oh,
thank you, Lala. Thank you for me and Dusty, Lala. And her.
Yeah, I have a YouTuber friend who has Tourette's, and he's also an American veteran. And I had him on my stream a few months ago because me and him have a poetry in common, and we were talking, and he began to have one of his Tourette's is a twitch with his eye, and he started like twitching. And people were like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Like, what the hell? And I'm like, no, leave him alone. Don't. And people are like, why does he keep moving his head? And I'm like, he has Tourette's, leave him alone. I'm like, jeez.
Remember one of the best comments I got, or not one of the best, but like one of my first weird ones. I think it was like my first or second week on YouTube. Yeah, I've been on YouTube for like 2 weeks, and I get a comment from a guy, and his name was OG Ghost Prepper, right? And he sends me this message. He's like, dude, we got a problem. He said, I've been Ghost Prepper on YouTube for 7 years, and you just show up and take my name. He goes, how are we going to resolve this? I clicked on his channel, and he had 23 subscribers and like 3 videos posted. And I already had like 250 subs. So I went back onto the chat, into the comments, and I typed, I said, well, if you've been Ghost Prepper for 7 years and you've only got 23 subs, I've been Ghost Prepper for 7 days and I've got 250. It sounds like you're doing something wrong. You need to change your damn name. I never heard from him since.
No.
It's funny how people come at you like that.
Yeah.
I had that happen to me. I went into a well-known prepping channel. I won't say the name or anything, but this person's name in there was Keto Homestead. Well, mine is Keto Homestead with Jess. And they like came after me hardcore. They're like, how dare you use that name? You don't know nothing about keto and da 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 da. And they're like going off, and I'm like, listen here. They were like, I've been keto 6 years or something like that. I was like, listen here, I'm the OG of keto. I've been keto 9 years. And then I left the chat. I didn't really leave the chat. I opened another window and went and checked their page out. They had like 4 videos. They'd been on YouTube for like 3 years. And at that time, I'd only been on keto or on YouTube for 3 months or something like that. And they had 4 videos, and none of them were about keto at all. And I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm not wasting my time. This is ridiculous.
I would have been like, well, I live on a homestead and my last name is Keto. So what's the problem?
I was just
people,
like,
Thank you, Brian.
I was like,
there's only so many names before we start butting into each other, you know. But I am the original Dusty Data. But there's a song. There's a song called Dusty Data. And I posted it so everybody can see that I didn't steal it, but there's similarities there. And then there's Data Dust. That's another song. But I'm now the Dark Prepper and the Dark Days Preparedness. I've opened those channels up now, and I've started posting on there. I'm putting all of the Prepperty content over there. I'm going to eliminate it kind of off. Dusty Data is probably going to. I have done nothing but copyright infringe pretty much everything I can do, all the songs, you know. So this channel shot.
There's 3 Hutch Homesteads. I'm the prettiest.
There's actually one other Gemma's Journey channel on YouTube, but the lady who has the other Gemma's Journey channel spells her name with a J, and she's a athlete, but she spells her name differently to me. I think she's from Denmark or somewhere, but there's only me and her that are the same name on YouTube. So
We got to look. There's 7.8 billion people. Eventually, we're going to all start thinking kind of the same thing somewhere. Statistically, you know, we're going to come up with the same things.
Yeah.
You know? Like, who came up with the original concept? Was it Sutton Days?
It's funny. I was in, and I don't know why I just thought of this, but I remember when I first started college, I was taking composition where you had to write essays and all this good stuff. And when you write your essay, you have to say, we got some food done.
oh, look at that.
Look at that meat. That's just hamburger meat. For everybody that's watching, she didn't do the sloppy Joe. She just did hamburger meat. Looking good, Susanna. Looking good.
That looks amazing, Susanna.
Thank you.
Nice.
And that was dry?
Yep.
What was your fat ratio? Is it 80-20 or?
It was 80-20.
Nice. Looks beautiful.
Good.
Thank you.
Y'all remember this. When y'all ran out of you run out of hamburger meat at the grocery store, guess who's got it? All these guys canning.
Right? I already ate all mine. Don't come to my house.
I'll tell you what, I could take that pickup truck for this quart jar of hamburger meat. Start bartering for some big items.
Oh yeah. So I was talking about doing composition in college. So when you before you turn in your essay to your professor, you have to submit it to this computer program called Turnitin. And Jess is nodding her head. And what it does is it compares your essay to everybody else that's wrote an essay on that topic. And it compares you the way you say certain things and how you say certain things to get you gigged for plagiarism. And I looked at the professor and I'm like, and I'm doing my head like this. And she's like, "You have a problem, Mr. Martin?" I'm like, "Yeah, actually I do." And she goes, "What?" I'm like, "This is a really stupid idea. I want to know who thought this up." She goes, "What do you mean?" I'm like, if everybody that writes an essay on global warming has to submit it to Turnitin and turn it in as a database where they compare it to every other essay that's been turned in on global warming, you do realize there's only so many ways that you can say the ice cap is melting before it's automatically everybody's going to be hit for plagiarism. You do realize that no matter what you write the essay on, if everybody has to write one on it in X amount of years, everybody's going to be nailed for plagiarism. I mean, there's only so many ways to say the sky's blue and water's wet.
I just have to say, I love composition. That was like my favorite class.
I destroyed that class. Dude, I can write. Like, I killed it.
So you're admitting guilt to being part of that that movie that Al Gore did, huh?
I'm not admitting anything.
He plagiarized y'all stuff and just made a movie out of it.
I'm like, I mean, but if you think about it, if everybody that writes something on that topic goes into a database, and that database sole purpose is to compare your writing techniques and the way you put words together, eventually it's going to catch on fire and burn up. I mean, there's only so many ways to say the same thing.
Yes, I cooked it, drained it, and then canned it.
I'm getting close. Mine's almost down to 0. Man, this has been a long day.
No, I'm surprised I'm still awake. But I did take a nap. I took like a 3-hour nap. So
I tried to. I couldn't, man. I tried to a couple times. I was like, nope. Get up.
In a couple of hours, it'll be breakfast time for me.
What time is it over there, Jim?
It's 4 a.m. now.
Oh my goodness, sweetheart.
I stay up for you guys because I was clever. I did what Jess did earlier. I took a couple of hour nap earlier because I knew I was coming onto your panel. So I was like, okay, get your head down for a little while, have a nap. So I did that, and then I woke up like half an hour before your stream started. So I was like, oh yay, I'm up.
We appreciate having you here.
I like staying up to see you guys because my body kind of works on Eastern time because I'm so used to staying up to see you American guys on or the Canadian guys that I speak to, and I'm like, well, I know the East Coast of Canada and the East Coast of the States are 5 hours behind, and I know that the West Coast of the States and the West Coast of Canada are 8 hours behind me. So for me, I'm like, I know the time difference is not too much of an issue.
Gemma, have you met Hutch before?
What's going on?
Yes,
Hello,
briefly.
Gemma.
Hi, Hutch.
That was a peaceful ride on that bike today, brother, and that was some beautiful country. What park was that?
It was Ha Ha Tonka outside of Camdenton, Missouri.
Oh, that place was gorgeous, man, and that's like not far from your house at all, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's maybe an hour or so, if that.
Wow. Yeah, that was sweet. That was a good ride.
Yeah, it's nice of you showing your bug out location there, man. That's where you're going. You board up that place.
No, hell no. There's too much money over there for somebody like me.
Ghost, you've got a question here from Oddball. They say easy to can sauerkraut.
Don't know. I don't eat it, so I have never canned it. I have no idea.
Oh, while I got you on here, Hutch, man, are you going to make more of that content? Because that was badass. That trailer you did.
Oh yeah, the movie. Yeah, he's almost finished with it.
I'm waiting on you, Dusty. You still got to see stuff. I'm making an hour-long movie, man.
I'm already in my bunker, man.
I'm just waiting. Right now I got 12 minutes ready to go, but I've still got like I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 hours of unedited stuff to go through to add to it, and then I'm just waiting on everybody to throw me their stuff around. Like if I can get everybody to get their stuff in by the 1st, then I'm aiming for around the 15th or the 20th, and I should have like an hour-long movie.
Nice. Uh-oh.
Hey, Hutch.
What's going on?
How are ya?
Another day living the dream.
Yeah, that was awesome this morning. I caught the replay.
I'm surprised I had signal down in some of them bottoms down there, but hey, it worked out.
It kind of it like buffered a few times, but it was a pretty good signal.
Stephanie, I'm half Choctaw and half Black Dutch. I got the best of all the world. I'm a gypsy, Native American gypsy.
Uh-oh.
We're pretty much in the same boat on that one, Dusty. I'm more mutt than Native American now.
I've met my biological father on the Indian reservation. I was raised in Florida, so it's a different world.
I know my grandma's mother didn't speak English at all, but my dad's side was so mixed in with white trash DNA passed down that it overtook it.
It might be hard to believe, but back in the 70s and the early 80s, when I lived with my grandmother, I didn't even have running water or bathroom or nothing. I used to go down to the little well and get jugs of water.
Hell, I was living like that last year. What you talking about, man?
Look at that sloppy Joe.
I was wanting to jump on here and can with y'all, but I ain't got no place to put it. We got 40 pounds of hamburger sitting in the freezer.
Okay, everybody. We used to call sloppy joes in my family. We call them sloppy ollies because my late grandfather's name was Joe, but his name is actually Oliver. So my sloppy ollies are bubbling and going for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Beautiful.
It smells really good too.
Full job.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Woohoo!
Hey,
All right.
Hutch, how you doing?
What's up, Suzanne?
I was saying I just did
Finished.
hamburger today. I didn't do the sloppy joes. I couldn't find what I wanted.
Why don't you don't like the? I'm with Ghost. I like the taste of the canned stuff.
Yeah, that's why I didn't change it. I'm used to eating it. I don't want to mess up and can 30 pounds of something that I don't like.
Right.
Now, see,
Yeah.
I think I screwed up by taking my salt intake, and I've really reduced it so much that stuff is really, really pungent to me. That manwich. I used to love manwich, but nowadays it just.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
strong. It's real strong nowadays.
Oh, so it's not just me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is. I forget. There's one I found. I think it's Del Monte or something like that. But I couldn't find it anywhere. And yeah.
You ain't canning nothing this time, Dusty?
Nah, man, I got food poisoning, man. I've been down and out I spent 20 hours down yesterday sleeping. And when I woke up today from being so sick and throwing up and stuff, my guts hurt. So it's hard to move around. Laughing right now, it really hurts.
Right. But don't do that.
Yeah, it was the egg. I think it was because that's what I started burping and it tastes like sulfur, the rotten egg. That's what I mean. It just started burping hard. I'm like, wow. And then all of a sudden I felt, oh no.
Bubble guts kicked in.
Oh yeah. It was rough, man. It hurt. I don't like it, but you have to live through it. And I sweated a lot. So, and even though you're not supposed to, I still ate something, even though it went through me, I still try to eat more.
Right.
I started with chicken noodle soup, the chunky chicken noodle soup. in a can, just.
What do they say? Crackers and 7-Up. That was my grandma's recipe for everything. Like, oh, you don't feel good? Crackers and 7-Up.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep, that looks really good.
Oh,
so
yeah.
pretty.
Smells good.
It does, right? It smells really good.
Mhm. I'm lucky too because I had a little bit left over. I couldn't get in my jars.
Yeah, we noticed on your beard.
Not yet, but it's sure enough gonna be. Who's left? Oh, Jess is still going strong with her soup. What the fuck?
I'll be right back, Ghost. I'm going to switch computers.
So what'd you do to your studio, man? Is that a green screen or is that actual something back there?
This is my my son's room. It's that 10 by 12 shed.
Yeah.
Put carpet down. We got we received some sheetrock up, pallet wood and tin on the back, pallet wood and tin on the front.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Keeps the tax man away.
I thought about moving into my little shed, man.
You should, man. They're easy to fix up. They don't really take nothing.
20 years of marriage.
Right. I want to get another one. It's a 10 by 12. It was only like $1,600 flat out. And then
I think I paid about $2,000 for mine.
say we're not even $200 worth of stuff on the inside to get it done. We just need a few trim pieces. Insulated, wired, ready to go.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Lala.
Thank you, Lola. We'll see you later.
See you later,
Yeah.
Lola.
I'm gonna head out too, Ghost. My canner's done. I'm gonna go pass out.
Yeah, it's not gonna be long for me either, man. I've been going since 3 a.m.
Oh, I show up and everybody burns out. Good thing I'm not.
Sorry, Matt.
That's okay. I'll take my feelings and go.
Thanks for hanging with us, Jess. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.
Love you, Jess.
Love you
Good
too.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Later, man.
But
Hey,
you're in
Stuart,
your shed now,
where
Hutch?
have you been, Stuart? I was the first
Mhm.
one.
Yeah. Susanna whooped everybody's butt tonight. She finished first.
She cheated though. She didn't have any seasoning in hers.
Same time though. Same processing time. Yeah. Like Virginia and I were pretty sure she did her stuff yesterday, and then she just pretended like she can today. She just showed us the finished product.
Last night.
We're pretty sure she cheated.
Did
Hey,
anyone
you guys got any recommendations on my tomato plants? Got these, it looks like some type of worm or something that's going around the leaves. And it's not actually eating through the leaf, it's on the top of it. And it's browning the top of it in like a line. I have it in a video I posted about it, and it's on my tomato plants. It hadn't actually fruited any tomatoes yet, but it's taller than I am. It's over 6 foot tall.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it is.
I've been
weird.
lucky. I've had a lot of ladybugs just naturally show up out back on my plants, so they've been putting in work. they've been doing the damn thing. I've been lucky so far. Yeah, I would say 7 dust.
I've been using that diatomaceous earth around my potatoes since I had those hornworms, and it seems to be working pretty damn good. I got the Japanese beetles like crazy, but they're not really touching anything, or as far as eating anything. But
That I have a dwarf lime tree, and all the leaves are pretty much gone. Something ate the hell out of it, but the fruit's still there.
That's the problem I'm having with my persimmon tree out back. Is those little wiggly worms that make the big spider web things up in the branches and stuff. They're killing all my branches, and it's giving me like little stupid fruit, like half the size of what it should be, because they're not getting any kind of chlorophyll energy and all that. You know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Nice, Sherry.
I'll try that. I got some diatomaceous earth. I'd use that for fleas.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, that's
if
good.
fleas start getting around, start scattering that stuff around.
That especially the food grade diatomaceous earth, man. That stuff's, I mean, that stuff's on point. That stuff works good. The only problem is when it rains, you got to do it again. But it works, for ants, any kind of hard shell critters, it tears them up, man. It just rips them apart.
Yeah, redneck. That's the problem I'm having. Is I've got one tree. Like I cut them all down before I knew what they were, because I was landscaping and all that shit for the backyard. Then as soon as I found out what they were, I had one tree left, and I'll get maybe 50 fruit off of it. It's probably 30 foot tall, but I've only got 2 branches left and like 5 leaves on the whole damn tree. But I've literally got 137 that are roughly 3 or 4 foot tall that are coming back up for the ones that I cut out. So I'm hoping here in the next couple of years it builds back up into a nice little orchard.
Mm-hmm. Well, boys and
Dusty,
girls,
do you have,
I think I'm gonna take my tired butt to bed, or at least I'm gonna go eat something. I'm about wore out.
we know you need beauty sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as possible.
I just need to eat. Maybe another drink. I'll be good. We'll find somebody else that's live and we'll go mess with them.
Yeah.
Or Hutch will go live.
I don't know if I'm going to go live. I think I might go over there and I think today's Stedding's birthday. He wanted people to roast him, so I think I might go over there and see if I can make him cry.
That'll work. Anybody can do it. You can. Hell, he was live last night or this morning for like 8 hours in his truck.
Yeah. Did you jump on there last night?
Yeah, I didn't get on the panel, but I was talking to him for a while. I was laying in bed.
I jumped off like 5 minutes after you got in the chat, man. I couldn't keep my eyes open.
Yeah, I was pretty tired. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna duck out of here and go get me something to eat, man. I want to thank everybody on the panel: Virginia, Susanna, Dusty, Hutch. Thanks for coming up. Gemma, she's gone, but thank you, Gemma, for everything. And who else am I missing? We had somebody else up here.
Keto.
Who?
Did you say Keto?
Oh yeah, Jess. Yeah, Jess was up here. But thank you guys on the panel. Thank everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. I do appreciate it. You guys, tomorrow is prep rally. I got one hell of a scenario. It's gonna mess backwoods up, something fierce. So it's gonna be a good one tomorrow night. And then next week is Prepper Summit on Saturday, and then another episode of Prep Rally on Sunday at 8 Saturday, 9 Sunday Eastern. My email is ghostprepper1369@gmail. I'll put it in the chat real quick.
Happy birthday, who?
Thanks everybody for coming. It was a really good time again, and I love being here.
Yes,
We'll see you all around somewhere.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
I'll just check out my channel in a little while. Y'all be singing.
Yeah, go. I ain't gonna tell them what Dusty's gonna be doing over there, but it'll be fun. I promise you that. All right, y'all have a good one. We're out of here. We'll see you later.